Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine. We're echoing. What's up this afternoon? Oops, had the stream going. Hello. What's up this afternoon? Christoph, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. John Donator, Whaler, Pikachu Gummond. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is hyped, because it is time to do some Aetherdrifting. We are going to have our traditional once per set Aetherdrift Draft stream. Check out what this new set's about. Get some cards in our collection. I'm curious. Play more Flump. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Hey, what's up, Thornblood? How are you? Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. It just came up like 5 minutes ago, like literally just live. So we'll see if it makes it through the whole stream. Hopefully. Purplesaurus Rex, welcome you to the Fishbowl as well. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. It's release day. Have you planned out Bear's treat schedule according? Yes. Bear's, he's off to play with his friend already, so he'll be good during the stream, and he'll have some extra treats while I'm recording tonight for YouTube. Sad news, Bears. Man, the hype train's running already. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Not up in Europe yet. Interesting. I didn't realize it took longer depending on where you were in the world, but yeah, I mean, it's up for us. So we're going to do some Aetherdrift Draft today. So the plan today, Aetherdrift Draft stream, and apparently there's some sort of commander announcement that's coming out this afternoon, like in the WotC stream. We're not going to watch the whole WotC stream because we got drafting to do. But if you see the commander announcement, let me know, and we'll talk about that too, because apparently Gavin's going on stream to talk about it. We'll see what it is, but it might be a notable stream. Bear, yeah, Bear's actually a fairly friendly guy. He says, really enjoyed your goblin video. Do you think max speed may be good if you have a few 1-drops or lands that can start your engines? Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's going to make it its best, right? Like, if you can start your engines on turn 1-ish, what I found is you kind of accidentally end up being at max speed by turn 4 a lot of games. Like, it's actually kind of easy. Oh yeah, that we were talking in the Goldfish chat. When I heard there was this announcement coming up, hybrid mana change was something we were talking about, because we know we're going back to Lorwyn. Lorwyn's a hybrid plane, right? Traditionally, we know Mark Rosewater doesn't like the hybrid rule. Maybe it's a hybrid thing. That could be possible. Brackets is also another good guess. They did talk about having a bracket announcement at some point. That could definitely be it. So we'll see. But commander news coming. If you see an article or something, let me know and we'll look it over. Dogamith for the 69th month with a very nice resub on the hype day. Brings you up chair for you. Thank you. So anyway, I mean, let's do our reminders, and we're gonna jump into a draft, and we're gonna play some limited, see what this format's all about. So reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams. Normal YouTube, we started our Aetherdrifting with goblins yesterday. The goblin deck is actually sweet. What's the commander news? Not sure at this point. All I know is there's Gavin's going on the stream in like an hour for some sort of commander related something. So we'll see what it's gonna be. Christmas, it's our traditional once per set draft stream. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. If you get a free goldfish shaker, just let them know you want when you're ordering them, so they'll hook you up. Anyway, are you ready for some Aetherdrifting? Actually, before we jump into this, hey, what's up, Snago? How are you? Good to see you. Before we jump into this, how was pre-release? Like, what should I be looking for in this limited format? I have played zero drafts. Yeah, Richard's facial hair, I'm trying to get him to keep it. He says he's not. Do you want the inside scoop on Richard's facial hair? Do you want the inside scoop? The inside scoop is actually kind of hilarious. So I was like, "Oh, dude, your beard's looking good. You should keep growing it." It was like, "Yeah, actually, I have like a zit. I have like a zit, and the beard covers the zit, and plus I don't really want to shave, so." So that's the inside scoop of Richard's beard. It is unintentional zit pimple hiding. All right, are you ready for some drafting? Here we go. Yeah, the inside scoop. 10,000 gold. All right, well, here goes nothing. Okay, let's read these archetypes real quick. Draft archetypes. Blue-white artifacts, blue-black also artifacts, red-black max speed, green-red exhaust, green-white mounts and vehicles, white-black max speed attrition. Oh, that's kind of like the sacrifice deck, right? Discard aggro and is it black-green graveyard. I feel like black-green fill your graveyard is every set. I feel like every set, if you read the limited description, is probably going to say the same thing. Well, here we go. Pack one, pick one. Let's start our engines. Let's see what we can get. Funkimo, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. How aggro was this format? Big soup cheer for you, by the way. Like, should we be trying to be super aggressive? Is it slower? Rare-wise, oh god. Rare-wise, Voyaging Glide. Actually, wait, we have, wow, triple rare. Okay, triple pop. Thopter Fabricator, seems like a good vehicle. Draconox Engineer. I feel like this card's actually just really good. I don't know if red's good. I have heard that Thunderous Brood Dragon is insane. Like, this card actually seems... It puts us into green-black very heavily. That's going to be the challenge of that card. Scrounging Skyray, good for discarding. Chitin Gravestalker. Oh, cost less for each thing in your graveyard. Voyager Quakeweld. Rider's End. Yeah, removal. That's actually pretty good removal. Go Thopter Fabricator. I do like drawing cards. I feel like that's a good value card. What do you think? Should we go for it? All right, we'll take the Fabricator. Fabricator could put us in some sort of yeah, let's take it and see what happens. I do like picking rares early, and then we can go, what is this vehicle? Haunted Hellride. 3 mana 3/3 when you attack target creature, you can roll with +1/+0 and Death Touch, untap it. Okay. During your turns other than yours, it's an artifact creature. There's Amonkhet Raceway, which I don't know how good that is in limited. Guidelight Matrix could be cool. What do you think? Can we be a vehicle deck? What if we go all in on like vehicles and activating them with Guidelight Matrix? Is that the worst idea ever? That would kind of be against the oddsy, but there's a lot of vehicles in this set. Guidelight Matrix cycles. So 2-tap, turn a vehicle into a creature, basically, and you draw when it enters. 4/5 for 5. The discards. Trample, start your engines. Excellent. That's a fine value-y card. Adrenaline Junkie. When a player casts a spell, it's not their turn, 4 damage. When you activate exhaust ability, counter on it. Wait, what I don't even know what dragon we're... Is there a dragon? I don't even see a dragon. You know what, we're doing it. We're doing the vehicle, Jake. I don't see a vehicle there. We are draft. Oh my god. Can we? Is this the worst limited card of all time? I don't think there's any toughness synergies. Back on track. Returning a vehicle card from graveyard to the battlefield. Create a pilot. 5 mana. 2 damage to each creature. We do want removal. What colors are we going to be? 6 damage to a creature, a planeswalker, or blow up a vehicle. That's probably fine if we're in red. Blue, green, or red are the in the first pack. Yeah, taking that might have been better. Is that 3 stun counters? That does actually slow down a creature for a long time. That is a lot of counters. What color are we going into? Maybe we just take Crash and Burn and go towards Izzet. Let's take that. We do want some removals. We also want things that draw us extra cards to go with Thopter Fabricator. Slick Intimidator. 2 mana 1/3, start your engine, sack a creature, copy target spell you control. Sack this. Oh, that seems kind of jank. Greaseridge Goblin, fine aggro card. 3 mana 2/3 haste, exhaust 3, counter on it, double strike until end of turn. When you discard one or more cards, deals that much damage to each opponent. So, ooh, I kind of like the idea of this. I kind of like the idea. Yeah, maybe we're the discard deck. I am kind of addicted to the discard deck. We don't have like a rare payoff. Let's take this. It's a 1/4 for 3, but it does. You know what? We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it. Lynx is amazing. Oh no, I missed. Oh, paid off. We got to. Okay, we're in for the discard deck 2 in a row. This might be the worst idea ever, but if we just take a bunch of stuff that discards and we have this artillerist, don't we just win? I also like the sloop. When you attack, draw, and discard, that works with the theme. But I think we want all the artillerists. I think we're the discard deck. We're the discard deck. Because the discarding, right, if we cycle, it's going to trigger our Fabricator. Maybe the Guidelight Matrix isn't going to be good. But another octopus. So we want things that cycle. We want things that reward us for discard. Another crash and burn. Is this not actually good? I feel like this is probably good, right? It is 4 mana, so it's not super cheap, but it should kill pretty much anything, and it can get a vehicle. I feel like that's actually just a fine removal spell. We do want to keep an eye out for cycling stuff. Max speed, exile this card from your graveyard, draw a card. I mean, remember when Windrake was like a good limited card? We're gonna take another crash and burn. Get that removal. Ooh, full throttle. Huh. Do some rare drafting. Full throttle, 6 mana, get 2 extra combat steps. Doesn't seem like a great limited card, although in the right scenario, it probably wins the game. 2 mana, start your engines. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. Okay, that works with our theme. You know what, we might just take that. When it attacks while saddled, create a treasure token. That's a fine 2-drop. Draw a card, then discard a card, put a counter on it. Oh, it's exhaust, though. Let's take a kickoff celebrations. Another one? Actually, bounce off is probably good. This might apparently be a constructed card. I don't know. I saw something coming out of Hare Ruri Games talking about how this is one of the biggest cards in Japan right now from the new set. Mega Magic card for the 14th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Why is 69 afraid of 70? Because they got into a fight and 71. This pack has nothing. Literally nothing for us. I mean, this is the best card, I think. The removal. We have so much. Wow, people do not value vehicles, do they? Reach. Discard a card, draw. Oh! Discard a card, draw a card. That is kind of expensive, but sure. Like, that triggers our stuff. We will take it. I think it's better than this. I don't know if this is very good. So it's a vehicle during our turn, during our opponent's turn. It's a 3/3. I guess it's okay on defense. Well, cycling. We will take it. It says cycling. I actually think stall out might be fine-ish limited removal. 3 stun counters is a lot of turns. I was wondering if it's time to look at this deck. Mono white happily ever after. Let me see autism. It seems like our colors might kind of be open. Well, take another stall out. I feel like we're all in on cycling. But I feel like that might be a good place to be. We're probably not playing Ride's End. I don't even know if we're playing Guidelight Matrix at this point. We'll see. We could. It is a fine filler card if we get more vehicles. We do need to watch our curve. Right now we have a lot of spells. We don't have that many creatures. Ooh, wow. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that's what we want. It does loot with its exhaust ability, and it's a creature. And planes to the... Okay, we're off to a good start, I think. Oh, God. Oh, wait. No, okay, so chat, bear with me now. Is not Riverturn Monument incredibly busted in limited? I feel like this card should be just absurd when you start with 40 cards. And then you draw 7 for your turn, so you got 33 cards. Is this not just like easy, straight up game over? I think we got to take the water park, the beach episode. I mean, I like Hull Drifter too, but I feel like this is just like a literal bomb rare in our colors. I feel like it's one of the best limited rares, and we got to take it. Like, yes, Hull Drifter I do like, and we would take it otherwise, but I think Riverturn Monument, it actually kind of fits our theme too, because we have a lot of removal, and like, we can just kind of cycle and burn ya, and just kind of stall out, and then just mill you out of the game. I feel like this card's insane. March of the World Ooze. This card might be busted and limited. It's not for us. We're in a very different direction, but what does this do? 3-drop gets double strike. I think this is probably fine. We do need 2 drops. What does this do? Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Create a Thopter. I think I'd rather have the 2-drop flyer. Oh, there's another artillerist though. All right. Well, I mean, we gotta take the artillerist. Also, one of the things to keep in mind, if we're gonna be a cycling deck, we got to keep in mind that we can take cards from other colors too. Like, theoretically, let's look at this Happily Ever After deck. Mono white, Bees as a commander. That makes sense. Get some life gain in there. Happily Ever After does work with the life game theme. Veneer upkeep, if they're five, I'm all right, let's look at our deck. I'm a little confused. How do you get 5 or more colors in that deck? Counter target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4. Another guideline matrix. Cycles for a black, that's awkward. 3 damage to a creature or destroy a vehicle. I mean, we can take another Kickoff Celebration, I guess. I don't feel like Kickoff Celebration's that good. I don't really want to. You know what? We're going to take the 2-drop flyer just for curve purposes. I like this 1/3 flying blocker here. Oh, that's yeah, it's so hard. Commander decks, it looks cool, Autism Gaming. It looks cool. It's just so hard with 100 individual cards to like see all the synergies. But a mono white Happily Ever After deck does sound really neat. I like the idea of it. Spell Pierce Steel. Oh, this has cycling though. Whenever you cycle this card, target creature, we probably got to take the cycler, I think. Also, another one of these reach looters, but we already have one of those and they're 5 mana. Spell Pierce is fine. Like, counters are fine. I don't want to be super counter heavy and limited. We'll take the cycler. Hey, it's that longtime fan. I want to know if you've ever heard anything or know anything regarding the format Dual Commander. It's very popular in Europe, Asia, and Southern America. There's good news on the Dual Commander front, which is they recently added it to Magic Online. Exchange control of target creature artifact you control target. I mean, this is probably horrible, right? But it's funny. We can like steal our opponent's bomb and it cycles. I mean, it cycles. It cycles. So the good news about Dual Commander is they recently added it to Magic Online. And I think that opens up a whole new player base that didn't exist before. So it's something that I haven't really gotten a chance to play yet, but it's definitely on my to-do list on Magic Online. I guess this thing's fine. It doesn't do anything for our deck, but it is a 2-drop. So I think I'd rather have it than cast artifact spells or activate abilities. Yeah, we'll take it. I don't know if we end up playing it, but counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. 1 counter might not be bad. We normally want this pump spell. Defender. When this creature enters, the opponent controls more lands than you get a treasure. That's like the worst ketchup ramp. Yeah, we'll take the counter. It's fine. Do you think Aether Spark? Ooh, another one. I mean, this is not like busted already. Wait, that's a land with cycling. Oh, cycling a 3? Is that better than this? I actually feel like this can probably be a blowout. If you like cycle and shrink something, it might actually be a key piece to our cycling deck. This pack, Grim Bobble. I wish they did not print. We might just rare draft this Verge for constructed. Stock up. Look at top 5 cards in your library, 2 in your hand. I think, well, the rest on the bottom. You know what? I'm not above rare drafting live on stream. We will play the Verge in constructed, and we're getting to the end of this pack. Let's take the Mole Tender. Hey, what's up, Neil Arnold? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. When this creature attacks while saddled, it gains indestructible until end of turn. Untap all. 5 mana though. 5 mana is kind of a lot. We'll take the colorless card. Yeah, should I play Dual Commander? Does any of you play Dual Commander? I mean, we're gonna have plenty of playables. I don't really want to play all these kickoff celebrations. We'd rather have other ways of discarding. So what's our best open here? Aether Spark? Aether Spark. Let's get an Aether Spark. Well, not an Aether Spark. A clone that cycles and has flash, though, is probably fine. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets 1 mana permanent. Return a creature vehicle to opponent controls to its owner. Sand, draw a card. I mean, that's also seems kind of fine. Outpace Oblivion. Start your engines. 5 damage. Oh, that's actually just good. Oh, we might just have to take another removal. How much removal do we have? So we're not going to play this. We have 2 Crash and Burns. We have 1 bounce spell. We have a couple of stall outs. Do we have anything that works with our draw and discard plan? The land hopefully comes back around. Yeah, let's try the clone. We gotta try it. In the early drafts of a set. Oh, there it is. Debris Beetle. One of my favorite cards from the set. You know, when we go back to cons, there's gotta be a Siege Rhino callback, right? Ooh, wait, can this work? Another Verge. We're not going to rare draft it now, but enters Megathopter, another counter, another Guidelight Matrix. Exile from a graveyard. Okay, so 3 mana, start your engines. 2-tap draw, max speed. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. Yeah, it's our traditional once per set draft stream. We usually do one draft stream. Let's try it. Ooh, boy. Shapeshifters for days. Target non-land permanent's owner puts it on their choice of the man. I don't know if I like that wording. I think the wording's probably better for new players, but it is literally tripping me up. Target non-land permanent's owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library. We got the 4-1, the vanilla. It's probably just, you know what? We'll take another. The shapeshifter cycles, so it works with our plan, and it can. Oh. Do we want the 0 power max speed card? Also, how horrible is this card? Is this any good? Like, we do have to give one of our things to our opponent. This is fine removal. Gets rid of a vehicle or an artifact. We should get this on the wheel. If you draw a card, you draw 2 cards. Yeah, let's take the removal spell. We can use a little more. Ooh, Duretti. Wait, we don't have any artifacts. Okay. Not enough artifacts to make it worth it. It could get back. This card's hilarious. We're going to have to do a push the limit against the odds. Nothing with cycling. So Duretti's power equal to greatest mana value of artifacts you control, which is literally we have like 2 mana artifacts or something. Sacrifice it, destroy an artifact. Oh, that's okay. Okay, let's take that. It's not great, but it's fine. It's fine filler. We need more cycling. There it is. There's some cycling. Reindeering! Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you. So, hey, and we got the boosted sloop. I actually want one of the. I feel like this triggers whenever we attack, not when it attacks. So it's guaranteed draw and discard to trigger all of our discard and draw stuff. I just want a 2-drop. Just a 2-drop creature. I don't even really care what it is. Like, just any somewhat playable 2-drop creature would be nice. I'll take the bounce off. So I think we got 2 plans. We kill you by cycling. Or I did say any 2-drop creature. I did say those words. Did I miss the announcement? Wait, what announcement? Are you talking Commander? As far as I know, there's no Commander announcement yet. So my understanding is, Gavin, we're gonna do it again. Actually, no, we're not gonna play the counter in the. Well, all right, well, we'll be responsible. I don't think we're gonna play the counter. I should have taken the Verge. Well, we get a trip up. I feel like this deck might actually be sweet. Either that or this deck's horrible. No, so I think that Gavin's going on the WotC stream at like 1 Eastern. And then I imagine we'll find out then, and maybe there's an article to go along with it or something. But yes, we should find out soon. Once we find out, we'll definitely talk about whatever goes down. I'm very curious. I feel like this is got to be a somewhat big announcement because they're actually promoting it. So I don't think this is just like a normal check-in stream. I feel like there's going to be more to it. But yes, if you see an article or anything go up, let me know and we'll talk about it. I guess the counter does work well with cycling, doesn't it? All right, let's actually build this deck. You think it's brackets would make sense. So what's your prediction? Let's say it is brackets. What do you think it'll be? Just like kind of what they said before, like 1 to 4, play with your right number. Do you think people, okay, here's my question about brackets. Assuming that brackets is the announcement, which we don't know at this point, but let's say brackets is the announcement. Will it change how you play Commander? That's my big question about brackets. So I think obviously if you have a play group, like our Commander Clash play group, or your friends that you play with every week or something, I don't think brackets matter to you. I think you're going to do what you do. You're going to make your own rules, your own ban list, control your own power levels. What about, though, if going to a Magic Con, going to a LGS, going to a Command Fest? Will you build your decks for a bracket in that context? Or, I don't know, have your personal deck set up in a way where you can play them one way at home and then swap it into a bracket when you go to a Command Fest? I feel like I don't know if it's going to catch on. I feel like there's upside to it. In the context of like Command Fests and playing with randoms. That's the thing that I do like about brackets. I think there will be endless arguments about the details and about, the cards and what should be here and what should go in each bracket. I think that'll be an endless fight, and it might actually kill the whole thing. But I feel like the opportunity to go to a Magic Con and just be like, we're looking for a bracket 2 game, a bracket 3 game, a bracket 4 game, rather than having to do so much of the pregame talk and be like, well, I got this card, and someone's like, oh, that card's fine, and another person's like, no, that card's actually busted, and like maybe it cleans things up and makes it simpler on that end. I think that would be the biggest upside. I still wonder if it's going to be a thing. I feel like a lot of Commander players just want to play Commander the way they want to play Commander, and if a WotC announcement sounds like it's telling you how you got to play or something, I feel like some percentage, probably a somewhat big percentage of Commander players, will just outright reject it just on principle of, you can't tell me how to play Commander. Commander is my format. You can't tell me what to do. Do you think there could be unbans? I haven't heard anything suggesting. Does anyone remember? I guess we should build this deck. Does anyone remember? Did they say specifically that they weren't going to announce brackets and bannings together? Like, I can't remember if there was some announcement that would exclude bannings being part of this announcement. I don't remember. But I guess if that didn't happen, then it would theoretically be possible it could be about bannings. Okay, so what is this deck trying to do? We have 2 plans. One is we stay alive and we kill you with River Turn Monument. The only other card that actually kind of matters with that plan is Ether Siphoner. Otherwise, just stay alive, kill your stuff, mill you out. Plan 2, or actually that's probably the backup plan. Our primary plan, kill you with Cycling. Would have been nice. Oh, they did say it wouldn't be about bans and unbans. Okay, so apparently not bans and unbans today, based on what chat's saying, based on what Lucid saw, which kind of makes sense. You don't want to overload too much, right? Whatever the announcement ends up being, you probably don't want to overshadow that by also making ban list changes. So that does make sense. I wish we'd got a rare payoff, like a captain or a monument, but we have 4 Magmakin Artillerists. Then when we cycle it, deal a damage. When we discard a card, deals a damage. And it's a 1/4 for 3. We have 2 Wax and Shapeshifters that can go with it. So we have this burn you out by making ourselves discard cards package. So we want to keep in things that do that. So then we have things that cycle. I think these heavies are going to be it. So things that cycle are going to go in this pile because they are synergistic for our plan. And then things that discard but don't cycle are going to go in this pile. We need to cut like 7-ish cards. So that cycles. I do like the counter with cycling. That is a nice synergy. This discards. We're probably cutting Kickoff Celebrations though, I think that's one of the easiest ones to cut here. So we need to cut 6 more cards, and then we have removal. We do need some number of 2-drops just to add bodies to the battlefield, even though our 2-drops kind of suck. How bad is this card? Oh, they tweeted Commander bracket update. All right, well, brackets are coming. Oh no. Oh yes. I don't know what to think. Do you think they will use an AI program website or make players do their own research? Are we talking brackets? My guess is this. My guess is if there's a bracket announcement that catches on, I would imagine that the big sites, EDH Rec, Scryfall, like the card indexing sites, like Scryfall's the biggest one. I imagine that they will do something to make it easier. Whether or not Wizards actually does that, that I don't know. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this Aetherjack. How many creatures do we have? 14. Okay, we're fine. All right, what's our 5 cuts? We need to cut 5 cards. Maybe with all the cycling, we could go slightly less. Let's look at our curve again. Oh, that didn't actually work. So 5 cards out. We don't really want to cut removal. Can we cut a 2? I mean, I guess we can cycle on 2 as well. Maybe this isn't actually worth it. That's very slow. So it's 3 to cast, 2 to draw. If we get to max speed, then it works with the mill plan. I don't even know if we need it, though. I think Riverturn Monument just wins on its own. So let's get rid of the Siphoner. You think keep it? What do we cut, though? We need to cut something. Man, people like Siphoner. All right. Siphoner's back for now. But we do need to cut something, though. 5, 6 somethings. We can't cut lands. We're not cutting this stuff. I don't really want to cut... maybe we can cut this 5-drop. That seems kind of clunky. It does have reach. All right, we can get rid of that. We'll get rid of the Gunner. The 41 card special. Get rid of Aetherjack. Go down a bounce off. I want to keep 1. Let's keep 1 bounce off. Trip up. I mean, I like that a lot of our expensive stuff cycles. That's going to help in the early game, and it's going to trigger our Thopter Fabricator. We actually have, like, a decent amount of synergy with the, like, cycling burn you Thopter Fabricator plan. Can we cut a 2-drop? I feel like this is, like, not great in our deck. We know we cycle on 2. Can we cut a land because we have cycling? That's the other question. Can we go 16 lands and trust that we cycle into it? That's probably way too greedy, especially with a kind of expensive deck. Oh, all right, chat. Last 2 cuts. Help me, chat. Help me. Hey, what's up, Tuka, buddy? How are you? Still my sold on the bracket system. I think that it complicates the format way more in the vein of not having a banned is commander, which I think would be better than brackets. I think they need to be more aggressive with the ban list, full stop. I feel like... keep the bounce offs. Oh, all right. I just don't know what else to cut. I feel like we can't cut more creatures. We're down to 11, so we can't really cut creatures. I don't really want to cut cycling stuff because we're so synergistic. It's got to be... the only cards I can really... Sloop? Sloop is also synergistic, though. I feel like Sloop is good in this deck. We got to cut something. I mean, do we cut cycling stuff? Maybe we go down 1 trade in the helm. Maybe we're too... Maybe cycling's not enough. Maybe we go down 1 of those. I can't believe we got 2 shapeshifters. I wonder if they're even going to be good in this deck. I think we have to go down 1 bounce off. I don't think we have a choice. I think we just have to. Take out the catalyzer. I worry that this just leaves us too light on creatures. 11. All right. Well, 10 creatures. And we... oh, do we got it? Maybe we got to cut the sloop. All right, let's try it. Let's try it like that. Well, here we go. All right, chat. Give me your grade as we go into round number 1. Let's see the curve. Wait, where is our... oh. How do I see my deck? Oh, here we go. I mean, that's actually kind of a fine curve. That doesn't look bad. I think we can work with that. The curve actually looks way better than I thought. 2 wins. 2 wins? Yeah, the announcement's coming. We're gonna find out. We will find out. We're not gonna watch the whole stream because this is a draft deck. Hey, how are you, Jeremicello? Not gonna watch the WotC stream because I want to play some Aetherdrift, but if there's an article that goes up, we'll definitely go over it. I know we don't draft very often. I'm a constructed player, but usually try to do once a set. when the new set comes out, usually try to do one limited stream. So it's our traditional once a set limited stream. Okay. How about this, Jet? Let's say it's a bracket thing. Do you think brackets can be a replacement for bannings? I think that is one of the biggest questions in all this. Can brackets replace bannings? Like, can you unban Mana Crypt, but have it be only in the highest bracket? Is that satisfactory? Or the next time there's a dockside, can you... What is this? 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. Sure. The next time there's a dockside, could you put it in the highest bracket rather than banning it? What are so, well, assuming the announcement is about brackets, which someone said they said on social media, brackets, we don't really know how it's going to end up. They pitched an idea a few months ago about breaking Commander down into a few different groups of decks, power levels, essentially, the brackets. So, like, I can't remember their exact example, but, like, bracket 1 would be, like, pre-con level decks, and then bracket 2 would be, like, upgraded pre-cons, and eventually you'd get to the highest bracket, which would be, like, CDH. So as a way to try to get people to, like, match power levels, essentially, more easily with their decks. So if we play Fabricator... Yeah, let's just play Fabricator. Play the Fabricator. It's going to combo pretty nicely with the Siphoner once we get going to make a few thop-thops. That is true. Precons do keep getting strong. I'm very curious. Very curious to see what the announcement is. Also very curious to see if it matters. Found it. Smacks us down to 17. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When the creature dies this turn, surveil 1. Well, we might want to just spend this turn killing something. Yeah, let's just play removal this turn. Next turn we can double draw with Siphoner and trigger the Fabricator. Opponent. Mountain. Well, alright. Is this a waste? Maybe, but we're gonna do it. Let's kill the Javelin here. It has to be simple enough to explain to someone who wants to just play Spider-Man or whatever. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if it's, well, all right, fair, I guess. We will also crash and burn pound it. Gets in with Engine Rat. Well, the good news is we believe in card draw. Thanks to chat. I'm actually glad we kept this Siphoner because it's actually looking pretty good now. Sindamako, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. The WotC stream is at 1 Eastern time, so 20-ish minutes. Whenever the creature saddles or mounts, +2/+0 trample, sure. Sure. This rat is doing some serious damage. Well, that's it. Draw a card. It's a land. And a land. That's not ideal. Well, let's draw a card. Trip up. Target non-land permanent owner puts on the top or the bottom of their library. All right, well. Play the land, pass the turn. Also, welcome to the stream, Pretty Neat Bob, and Trekon Evan, and also Ripley. Good to have you. Do what they do at LR. Put a random precon against each other that aren't designed to go against each other. It's kind of fun. Oh yeah, how was pre-release? What's up, Tuga? By the way, Seth, played pre-release last week and went 3-1. Also opened Ketramos, which didn't make the deck, but gave me my money's back. Ketramos is so good. What deck did you end up in? What were your colors? Opponent's gonna go attacking. Yeah, let's just take it for now. We'll take 4, down to 11. We are going to trip up something. Ooh, 6/3 vehicle. Okay. And a 1/2 when it enters surveil. 1/3 when it enters surveil 1. How big of a problem is this vehicle for us? This is not going very well so far. I'll get rid of that for now. We need some more removal, and we need it kind of quick, opponent. But oh, even more lands. Deck. How about non-land? Okay, crash and burn is good. That is good. We've just not been able to like get a body on the battlefield, which is very awkward. Very awkward. We're just taking the beatdowns because we can't find time to play a creature. We just keep playing very reactively. Opponent replays a Velocitor, but we can't really take a hit from this vehicle, or else we kind of die. I think that vehicle must crash and burn the opponent. Combat attacks. Well, let's destroy the vehicle. Drop to 9. Okay, that's interesting. So let's play Artillerist. Play a land. And pass? Yeah, let's pass. So this blocks here. We take 2. Yeah, that's fine. Let's pass. I want to be able to draw with the Siphoner. Aetherdrift looks like an unset. Yes. Yes, you are not incorrect. Magic looks like an unset. I think at this point, Magic is just an unset. What does this do? Haste. Tap another mount or vehicle you control. This becomes an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each mount or vehicle you control. All right, that's kind of scary. And then our opponent's going to crew. Oh, yeah, that hurts. Well, let's draw a card. Well, I feel like our deck is... We got to be more aggressive, maybe. Opponent. Going to go attacking. 7, 8. So we block here and go to 1? I mean, that's probably the play. All right, block the Artillerist. Cycle. Or block the rat. Cycle. Shrink it. Pang ya. Kill the rat. Oh, even more lands. Even more lands. Stall. Okay, stall out. Stall out. Boy, this is going to be close. This is going to be very close. So... Artillerist number 2. Catalyzer. Oh no, this isn't gonna work because it has... Oh, this thing has flying. Okay. New plan. Land. So we have to stall out this thing? Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, okay. And then pass the turn, see if we stay alive. Opponent untaps. We're not dead. We're not dead, right? We have blockers. But we are going to have to spend a lot of our board blocking here. Would definitely be sweet. Seth, if you were to do 2-headed giant commander, who would you want as your partner? Ooh, Krim. So he plays all the stack. He can play all the stacks pieces and be the bad guy. Why do my jank? No, actually, I can't be on team stacks. Richard? Actually, maybe Phil. Maybe we just get the value. I think it might be Phil. Well, so we have to double block. We double block. Draw a card. I'll bounce off. Okay, that can maybe let us stay alive another turn. God, so many lands. So many lands. Draw a card. Ah! Oh, okay. Have we just reached the... Are we at the unlucky stage yet? Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 17? Yeah, that's a lot of lands. That's quite a few. Who would you... Okay, you get to play 2-headed giant, and you get to choose a goldfish staff member as your teammate. Who are you picking? We should have, yeah, we should have played 13 lands. Opponent, gonna do some, I mean, we're still not all the way dead. Opponent. We're not, like, super alive, but we're also not dead yet. Bounce the vehicle. Opponent can replay it. Yup. We draw land number 12. We draw a card. Flood the engine. Whoo! Whoo! Oh, oh, staying alive. Staying alive. Oh. Hold. Hold, artillerist. Hold. Gosh darn it. Ah. Well, the difference in that game, 1, 2, 3, 4. Opponent drew 6 lands. We drew 13 lands. I think that is the difference in that one. Oh man, that giant baiting deck. We got an accomp. Wait, no. Oh, I missed it. Where's how do we? Okay, they just announced this achievement system. We lost a single game of limited, and we got an achievement. Oh, these are okay. Sure. Oh, these are the thing. Hey, that's actually kind of a. What do you think of this achievement system? That's kind of a neat looking sleeve. Okay. Thank you. Wait, favorite a visualization for each of 5 basic lands. Sure. I don't know any of this stuff actually, how it matters. Collect 1 copy of every card in a set. Collect 4 copies of every card in a set. That's actually kind of ridiculous, but... So we get this name tag now? I don't know what this does, but we'll set it as default. Ameribrit! Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. All right, well, we'll come back. We'll see what this actually does. Well, now we're a collector. You ever watch the horror movie The Collector? I actually thought that movie was pretty good for being like a not super hyped horror movie. I actually kind of like that one. I think there's 2. Then there's The Collection, which both of them are like, for being a mid-grade horror movie, I thought were actually kind of neat. The thing about the achievements, I hope they do some against the odds ones. I really want to see some like super tricky, super hard ones, like against the odds style wins. Win with Hedron alignment 10 times or something. Like something like that would be super cool. Saffron Olive collector. Gotta get them achievements. Break. Oh, they'll never do that, but that would be a good one. Break arena 3 times. Ameribrit, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you. Oh no, thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Life is bad. Life is bad. I don't think we can kill this. There might be a fatal flaw with our plan, which is we have vehicle removal, but we don't. People love this rat. My God. People love the rat. Maybe we need actual artifact removal. Maybe that's what we're missing. Well, let's play the artillerist. Where's our River Churn monument? Where's our beach episode? Have you ever attempted to try to win RCQ and attempt to do a Pro Tour run? I mean, it's crossed my mind. The grind, I don't think I would enjoy. I mean, maybe it's different now with how much digital is integrated in the system. But I remember, like, qualifying for stuff is just people, like, traveling every weekend to go grind an event. And then if you do that, you get to go grind another event. Very hard to do that while also doing all the content stuff. And if I had to make the choice, I have more fun hanging out with y'all doing a stream or recording a YouTube video than like traveling to some faraway place to try to grind into a Pro Tour. So it would be super cool. I'm just not sure the time is there for it. But it would be really cool to say you did it. Gollum MTG, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Cast this card from your graveyard by paying 2 life and sacking an artifact or creature in addition to its other's cost. Actually, doesn't seem like a bad limited card. So we got to kind of be fast, right, for this to work. Well, let's play the land. Pass the turn. Maybe Magma Artillerist is not enough of a payoff. We didn't get any Makos. We didn't get any of the rare payoffs for self-discard. Maybe this Artillerist is just not good enough as a payoff without more support. Maybe we might do an archetype that I think is good, but maybe we needed one of the rares for it. Pound it with a big attack. Well, let's crash and burn the 4/3. The problem is we're just going to get milled out. I feel like River Turn Monument's kind of unbeatable. 3 cards in our graveyard. You're going to be 5. This is actually an insanely fast clock. Is River Turn Monument the best card in the set? Yeah, I don't think our deck actually has a way to kill River Turn Monument. We deal with vehicles, but I don't think we actually have a straight up just blow up an artifact effect in our deck, and we might get punished for that. Bounce off. Only bounces a vehicle. Our shields are down, opponent. Do your worst. How was pre-release? What did you think of the format there? Haunt the network for 2. Or 3, technically. Oh no, this deck might be bad. Let's play the Buccaneer. Go attacking. Somehow we gotta be the aggro. I don't know if we can be the aggro, but this River Turn Monument is a clock. I run LGS. People praise the mechanics but hate the theme. Hate the theme has been kind of a common thing with this set. Would you ever consider a competitive Commander tournament? I would be less likely to play a competitive Commander tournament than a competitive tournament in other formats. For me, like, on Moto, like, I'd play a dual Commander League or something. I think that'd be kind of fun. But for me, mostly, I like Commander, like, to be a fun, casual thing. And if I want to be spiky, I'll just play another format. All right, opponent's going to sack to return the Indomitable. We can counter it. We could also bounce it. We need to deal with this. All right, let's loot. Looting is also kind of scary here. Actually, you know what? Let's counter it. Let's counter it. I think what we're going to end up doing is... Oh, another Artillerist. Okay, so we can play the Artillerist. Maybe we can be fast enough. Maybe we can be fast enough. So we play the Artillerist. We play the land. We go to combat. We do some attacking. Opponent gonna try to block with their Engine Rat. See if they can kill one of our things. And now we can cycle the Howler Heavy. Which, is that a manatee? Oh, it's a seal. It's a seal pipe. This is, I don't know if you saw it. Okay, chat, help me with this. I don't know. Did you listen to the podcast yesterday? We talked about it at the end of the podcast. There was this podcast by, what is it? Brandon Sanderson, the author, talking about Magic. He's a Magic player, also a very well-known author. Compared recent Magic sets, called them holodeck sets. But I'm not a Trekkie. How good is the comparison? Like, if you're someone that knows Star Trek, is calling like Aetherdrift or Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Murders of Carlisle Manor, does the holodeck, does that ring true? Hey, what's up, Mega Magikarp? Good to have you back. So what is the holodeck? Like, I'm not a Trekkie. Is it just like you go to the holodeck and it takes you to a new place type of thing? Oh, okay. I've seen similar things in, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I've seen similar things in other, that was in Futurama. If I think Futurama, then it makes sense. Red Herb, swing for 0 for the 80th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big thank you. Bona getting it for 1. Hits us. Can we be fast enough to beat the River Turn Monument? We got 22 cards in our deck, 7 currently in the graveyard. Opponent passes. We draw a useless. Man, it does seem a little floody outy. Well, let's do our looting. Okay. Trigger, burn ya. Bounce a Gravestalker. Can we win this race? Combat. Hit ya. For 5. Down to 9. Play the Sky Streak Engineer. Pass the turn. Opponent mills us. This is going to be so close. Corrupted Disruption. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super Jeffrey. Thank you. It seems like a great comparison. Now that the way people are describing the holodeck, it seems like the perfect description. Like, hat sets kind of works too, but I think like holodeck might actually be a better comparison. Opponent. When it enters, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. Unfortunate. 18. Yeah, we're dead in 2 turns. And I don't know if we can win before that. Toy? What is... Oh, the heavy. Huh. Well, I mean, go to combat. We gotta swing out. We don't really have a choice. Go to combat. Swing. Opponent gonna block. Well, we will exhaust this. Hit ya. To 5. Mount it. Go. But that's 13 cards. Wow, this is... It's coming down to the very end. It's coming down to the very, very end. Opponent mills us. Untaps 15 cards. 13 in the graveyard. They can mill us down to 2 cards in our deck. Wow, this is an incredibly... Yeah, that does look like a Dustmorn horror toy. Oh, really? Well, that is probably going to do it, unfortunately. Because now they have a million blockers. Well, ping ya. And they gained, yeah, double haunt the network. We draw a Siphoner, we draw a Fabricator. 14, yeah, and dead. Whew. All right, wait. So, well, good news is draft number 2. Those are the, if you lose 2 in a row, you just got to start a new draft. So, I think what is the lesson? What is the lesson from this deck? I think the deck just did not have a lot of power. I think the deck, we tried to build around those random commons. Not good enough. We just did not have a lot of power. Isn't the WotC stream? Yes, the WotC stream's in less than a minute. We're not gonna watch the whole WotC stream here though. Check the store for what? Oh, those are kind of cool looking. Oh, actually, those are really cool looking. Oh, it's got that one. Everyone's favorite island. You know what? Yeah, know what? Yeah, you got me. You got me, Wizards. Oh, and we have some new beep beep. Win some, lose some, wreck some. Eat my dust. Ride or die. Start your engines. Hit the gas. My God. Very, very creative there. Those lands do look pretty sweet. They do look sweet. All right, let's do another draft. So we're not gonna watch the WotC stream, although if they publish a article, we'll definitely read it over and discuss it. I mean, do y'all want to watch the Commander panel? I feel like it, well, let's see. We can watch it if it's something you're interested in.
About this, me and the whole Commander format panel are really excited about what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so
I feel like this is going to be like an hour-long stream
we'll jump back in our
on release day.
Before the holidays, and tell us kind of why we're here.
Yay, no. I kind of do. Yes, no.
Panel late last year,
There's no chance of bannings.
Kind of as the Wizards liaison, and then a bunch of folks.
Okay, how about this? I'm not.
All walks of it from.
I don't know if we're gonna watch the whole thing, but we'll watch long enough to get the gist of it.
What we talked about at the end of last year was trying to work on Commander
to see what they're saying.
Commander matchmaking system.
I'm hoping there's a
early version of it at that.
I'm hoping there's an article that we can just go over rather than watching the whole stream.
You saw a Magic set mini months before it came out, or before we handed off.
Yeah, all right. Let's just wait. Here's what we're gonna do. If you'd like to watch the WotC stream, because it's gonna be an hour. It's gonna be an hour long. If you'd like to watch the WotC stream, jump over. I will not be offended. Jump over and watch it. Once there's an article published, we will go over that together. Since it's release day, I kind of want to do another draft rather than just watching Gavin talk for an hour. So yeah. Let's do it that way. We will talk about whatever it is once they put the information out. But as far as actually watching the stream, I think we'd rather do another draft. When is Gavin going to shave it off and grow a beard? I know. I think Gavin could pull off a beard. All right, draft number 2. So, lesson from draft number 1. Gotta have the payoffs if you're going to go into a synergistic archetype. Well, okay. We have a card that points us in a direction. This time it's Demonic Junker. Demonic Junker says, play a bunch of artifacts, and I'll be a removal spell on a vehicle. We get a Slick Slick Imitator. That's that word. Okay, not very good in limited. Back on track, reanimate a vehicle. Would be good with the Junker. Spire Mechacycle. 5/4 haste, tap another mounted vehicle. That seems okay. 2 mana 2/2, target creature gains trample. 4 mana, put 3 counters on it. Vehicle enters scries 2. We had this in our last draft. Grimbobble's fine. Well, I mean, so do we take the Junker? Really, green's the strongest color. So we should be taking like this Greenbelt Guardian. Yeah, I think we tried to be cycling, but we tried to do it with uncommon payoffs or common payoffs, and it wasn't good enough. You know what? Let's try the Junker. Junker's good. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I swear this card is good. We lost to it. This card is insane. I know it was in our last deck and we never drew it. The problem with our last deck was not Riverturn Monument. It was a bunch of these Magma Artillerists, which was not good enough. So, and it works with Junker. Blue-black artifacts is an archetype. We saw that in the little archetype thing. Other options, white-black. We get a start your engines thing. Once you get to max speed, turns into a Blood Artist. Ride's End is good removal. I mean, it's gotta be this. Siphon Fuel also seems like fine removal. Flood the engines, fine removal. But Riverturn Monument's just, it's busted. Okay, so we're mill. We're mill with Demonic Junker. That's the goal. Last time we got the Monument very late, so we couldn't really build around it much. This time we got it early, so we can actually build around it. We could be bug. I don't know how fixing is in this format. What is this? Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, create a Thopter. Okay. Target creature you control with power 2 or less gains lifelink and can't be blocked this turn on a 4-mana 6. That's actually not a bad uncommon vehicle. This thing is actually kind of wild. The fact that this is a 2/3, I kind of overlooked this, but I feel like this might actually be a playable commander card. It might just be Siphon Fuel just to kill stuff. Siphon Fuel, fill the graveyard. I mean, Siphon Fuel's fine. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know how easy it's going to be to splash. Is there a, let's look real quick. Is there like an Evolving Wilds? That would go, there is the choose a color land, right, with cycling. So you get 5 Verges. You get the monocolored Mount Lands. You get the cheating lands, and then this thing, Night Market. So it could be possible to do a little splash. What do we want? Well, okay, there's Dismal Backwater. So is this rat just like insane? Everyone we played against last draft was just playing this rat. Oh, do we go combo kill? It's so bad. It's such a bad card. But this does actually combo kill, potentially with River Turn Monument, because we can double the exhaust ability. So our opponent has like 5 cards in the graveyard. We activate this, we River Turn Exhaust. The first one mills 5, that's 5 more in the graveyard, now there's 10, so it mills 10. Do we try to build a combo deck? This probably comes back around, right? Because it's so bad. I think, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take the rat. We're going to take the rat to play defense. And then that's going to wheel back around and we're going to combo kill people. When this vehicle enters, each opponent discards a card. 3-1 Defender. Oh, that's the treasure token thing. I don't know what we're getting out of this pack. Seems like not a lot of black or blue cards. Guidelight Pathmaker. This is one that tutors for a small artifact. Is blue-white? Yeah, there's a lot of blue-white in this pack. Are we taking this? It is an artifact, but it also has Defender. Okay. If there's an article, yeah, as soon as the article goes live, let me know and we will dig into the announcement. Also, if you're watching and you hear anything, let me know. Ooh, all right. We'll take the tortoise. I don't think it's good, but we'll take it. Cycling. 6 mana, 5/4, 1 less for each artifact or creature card in your graveyard. Another Verge. Howler's Heavy. Barbara Manatee. You are the one for me. Oh, did anyone else have VeggieTales when they're growing up? My God, I don't know why that came into my brain. Isn't it funny how something from like your childhood so long ago that you haven't thought about in so long can suddenly just pop back up for no reason? Based on Magic card art of all things. I remember thinking that it was funny when I was a kid. Oh, Hulldrifter. Hulldrifter, we have not gotten many blue cards, but I want to see him blue because of the River Turn. Hulldrifter seems good. It does crew for 3, but yeah. I mean, what else are we taking here? The Sarcophagus? Sarcophagus. Yeah, we'll take the Null Drifter. Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh yeah, the cheeseburger one. Oh man, I can't quite remember it. Where my cheeseburger? Yeah. Oh, VeggieTales, my God. I mean, this deck, I think we're off to a okay start. A little concerned that we have a 7-drop, a 6-drop, and 2 5-drops. That is a lot on the top end. Although Demonic Junker gets cheaper, hopefully. This gets cheaper and we can cycle it. So maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Speaking of 5-drops, Flying Haste. 3/3 Flying Haste, max speed lifelink. Another vehicle. What is this? 2/3 Vigilance for 3 exhaust. It's fillery, but it's fine. I don't think we want this fairy. Oh, I kind of remember. She said to me, I'd like a cheeseburger, and I might like a milkshake as well. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back. You are my cheeseburger. Yeah, let's take the Reef Roads. We might actually be able to sack a land to make a pilot. Start your engines, make a mana, max speed, sack it, draw 2, discard. That's actually fine. Since we have some artifact synergies, just like having an artifact seems reasonable. Yeah, let's try the starting column, and then we can. Oh, and it came back. I knew it. I knew okay, no one else wants this horrible card, but we do because it combos with our River Turn Monument. Okay, we're off to a. Oh, what? Oh my god, it gets the River Turn Monument. It actually, the odds of hitting a special guest that actually work with your deck is so low. Look at that art. Give me a grade on this art, chat. What do you think of that word of invention? I would put this at S tier. I love that art. I would tattoo it on my face if I could. Well, maybe not that far. I would hang it on my wall. Let's go with that. Cinevarda. Oh, I forgot, chat. It was guest for writer. I mean, we're taking the whir. The whir is insane with River Turn. It is a lot of blue, but the art's so good. Did y'all watch the Super Bowl? Any of you watch the Super Bowl this weekend? The Super Bowl itself, whatever. It was actually kind of satisfying just to see Patrick Mahomes get absolutely wrecked. That part was satisfying. The halftime show though was so good. The halftime show cracked me up. Yeah, I was thrilled in Philadelphia. They played so well. And the halftime show was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. I loved it. Oh, Kendrick went hard. He had the necklace. Like, oh man. The only thing that would have made it better if there was like a live looking at Drake as it was going on. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that would have made it better if we could know. Just see the look on Drake's face. I'm close to, I'm in upstate New York, so Buffalo's the closest team. I'm like a couple hours from Buffalo, but Buffalo's my home team technically. So yeah, I root for the Bills. So that's also why I enjoy seeing the special guest for days. The art on this is actually pretty good too. It is like Chandra art, and we have a lot of Chandra art, but for some reason, I don't know if it's a perspective of like, it's a unique piece of Chandra art. Oh, that go Pats, the Patriots. I mean, I can't even. I used to hate the Patriots. I used to hate them because they would beat the Bills every single year. Yeah, bring out Serena Williams was so good. Could you imagine just? Could you imagine the I didn't realize until like a week ago. Do you realize Drake was suing Kendrick over that song, or suing his record label, which is essentially this? Like, who would think that's a good idea? Like, I have to imagine that is not going to. That's not going to go well. That is not going to go well. It's like this Streisand effect thing. Like, why are you actually drawing attention to it? And then I feel like that made Kendrick just double down on the whole thing. And it was the funniest. Who would have thought a diss track would end up being played for 120 million people at the Super Bowl? Fixing is so bad this set. Grab uncolored duels early. It's actually good advice, especially with this work. Who's Unstoppable Plan? Is Unstoppable Plan any good? Actually, it does. Honestly, it seems like a horrible limited card, but it does work with River Turn Monument. It does actually work with River Turn Monument. We could also just take the bounce spell, which is fine. I think if we have River Turn, we're gonna win anyway. So it probably is not worth. Probably is not worth taking Unstoppable Plan. Yeah, I think you gotta have a specific synergy for it. Trade the Helm. Exchange control of artifact or creature you control. Artifact creature. This is actually kind of funny because we can exchange like a Grim Bobble for a bomb. I think we actually try it. I know it was in our last deck, but that was just a cycle. I guess that's true. Maybe it's not exactly the Streisand effect. I still, regardless, I think Drake's attempt to keep Kendrick from playing the song at the Super Bowl, it seemed to me like it kind of did the opposite, and it did the opposite and led to Kendrick doubling down and making sure not only to play the song at the Super Bowl, but to like weave it through the entire performance where it was like the whole focus of the show. So I feel like it was a backfire regardless. Broadside Barrage is really good. I wish we could have that in our last deck, but not in our colors. Swiftwater Cliff, okay. Man, these are all the cards we wanted in our last deck. The Mako would also be good. This deck might actually play Midnight Mangler. It is an artifact, which we want. I mean, I feel like this deck's actually coming along. It doesn't look bad. Gotta get the Sweetwater Cliffs. Ooh, I don't know about 2 Trade the Helms. The flavor of this set's so weird. I was realizing, you know what made me realize was actually, I tweeted about this yesterday. What made me realize, Mimeoplasm. I don't even know if Mimeoplasm's good. That is the first mythic we've seen. It is 3 colors. Oh, man. Splashing that's going to make our deck so much worse. When it enters, we only got 29 seconds. My God. Exile up to 3 cards from a graveyard. Becomes a copy of each. This is probably fine. What else is there? I don't know if we can actually Mimeoplasm. It doesn't really do anything in our deck, and we'd have to find a way to splash in this format where splashing is very hard. I think we're just gonna take the diversion unit. Mimeoplasm might actually table. But you know what made me think of the goofiness of this set was I realized yesterday that Macabre Waltz is in standard because of foundations. Look at this art. The original art on Macabre Waltz, I've been looking at this for like a day now. Like every once in a while I just pull it up and I just like stare. It's just so, it's like real art. It's like look at that art. It's so meaning, like it's interesting and meaningful and you can't look away. And this is 1,000,000% not a criticism of the artist in specific. But compared to some of the art from like Aetherdrift, and the art's like not bad, and some of the art's actually pretty good. Like that's a pretty cool piece of art there. There's some cool pieces, but then there's also just some really like very unset. Even that piece, like it's very unset, goofy. You got people like riding alligators, and it's just like very, very goofy. A very different vibe. The vibe is very different between something like this and something like. Like we're seeing in some of the Aetherdrift cards. Again, not a bad thing. Well, maybe it's a bad thing. Depending on your taste. I'm sure it's a taste thing. Well, we might take the Siphoner here. This seems like a Siphoner deck. Seth, there are quite a few cards. Hang on, let me grab a card here, and then I will read that question. Roadside Blowout. 2 less to cast. Return a creature vehicle. Oh, that's actually probably pretty good. We'll take the Siphon, though. I feel like the Siphon's good in this deck. Angsty Panda, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Hey, Seth, there's quite a few cards that double up counters on creatures or artifacts. Simone, Paradox Sculpture, Etheric Amplifier. Can you build it against the odds stack around Millennium Calendar in Standard? Ooh. Wait, let me look at Millennium Calendar again. So we did do Millennium Calendar against the odds right after it first came out. No one takes Slick Imitator. But doesn't it care about untapping stuff? So Millennium Calendar, whenever you untap a permanent during unstep, gets a counter. Tap it to double the counters on it. Do any of the doublers work with just artifacts? I'm gonna have to actually read the doublers. I know there's a bunch that double like +1/+1 counters. Oh, none of these are great. Yeah, you know what? We'll take another starting column. How about that? That'll be our fixing. That might also even let us splash. Choose a card name search. Well, this card might be relevant for constructed, but I don't think it's relevant for limited, especially best of one. How are you gonna know what to snag? Guidelight Optimizer is fine though. So wait, what cards could we use to double What cards can we use to double the amount of counters on Millennium Calendar that are in Standard? Well, last time we said we didn't have any. Oh, you know what? Actually, we're going to take this Pathmaker. I think we can make it work. Maybe. Oh, that might be too greedy. But we might be able to make it work. We might be able to make it work. But that's another way we could find the monument if we can make it work. 3-star. Okay, I don't know if we can actually play 3 starting columns. But if we can, get away with it. Inescapable Plans does. That would work. I could see that. Zimone, let me look at, I'm not sure what Etheric Amplifier. Let me read Etheric Amplifier. Oh. So Amplifier, unfortunately, Amplifier's from the Commander Precon. So we won't be able to play that one in Standard. But it would work in like a Commander deck. What about Zimone? Zimone Paradox Sculpta. Gonna come on your turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target artifacts or creatures. Pay 2, tap, double the number of each kind of counter. I think I could see Zimone working. Zimone actually seems sweet as another way to double the counters on Millennium Calendar. The untapping plan also seems pretty good. I feel like the untapping plan, maybe Unstoppable Plan, is the way to go. Well, let's cut some cards here. So the plan of this deck. Oh, I don't know if we play Guidelight Pathmaker or not. We'll see. We'll see what we can cut if we need to. We might have to play it. We might not. So the plan of this deck, we're all in on Riverturn Monument. Riverturn Monument is the game plan here. That is the game plan. Also, like artifact synergies. We have some artifact synergies. We got some Hull Drifting. Got a little bit of removal. Nimble Thopterus does not seem that good. How many creatures do it does make an artifact, I guess. 12 creatures, 16 artifacts. I guess it does crew. How bad are these starting columns? So it's a 3-mana rock. This starts our engines. Once we max speed, we can sack it to draw cards. The fact that we can sack it to draw cards makes me think it's like kind of worth it. I believe the plan is for the whole Goldfish crew. Usually the whole Goldfish crew does Vegas, so I believe that's the plan. Maybe we don't have to play the Mangler. When we get rid of the Mangler, get rid of the Tortoise. I kind of want to try all these starting columns, but we might just be too slow. Maybe we go 2. Maybe we go 2 starting columns. Or 1. We got to cut something. 1 less for each artifact or creature card in your graveyard. Seems that it's best in some sort of self-mill deck, but... So apparently there is going to be an artifact at some point. Once the artifact goes up, we will delve into the details of Commander. It is about the brackets. That much is for sure. Is anyone watching the WotC stream? What's your reaction if you're watching it? Or actually, maybe don't spoil it for me. Actually, on second thought, we'll do the article once it goes up. I think it should be up during the stream. Yeah, I mean, Calendar is definitely an against odds card. Calendar, the chances of it being a competitive tier deck in Standard is very, very low. There's just too many things that hate on it. We kind of need creatures for crewing. So we can't cut all the... Oh, maybe it is the starting columns. Maybe we got to go down the starting columns. Bounce off rats. Bobble. Yeah, maybe Bobble. Is Bobble even that good in... Yeah, it works with the artifact theme. Diversion unit. Optimizer. Monument. We need to cut 3. We need to cut 3 cards. One of them maybe should be the pit automation, but... The idea of the combo kill unlimited is just too funny. I don't think we can pass up that potential. And I really want to trade the helm, even though it's probably going to be horrible, but 41? Do we do the 41 card special? Are we playing 41? Maybe we're playing 41. How many lands do we have? 18. I don't know what this last cut is. Oh, the combo is very, very, very janky. But so our win con is River Churn Monument. River Churn Monument's exhaust ability is mill equal number of cards already in your graveyard. Pit automation lets you copy the next exhaust ability. So if we can just get a few cards in our opponent's graveyard, double River Churn Monument with pit automation should mill our opponent's entire deck. You know what? We're just gonna run it. 41, just the way Garfield intended. There's one big thing I really want you on the podcast to discuss, and should be a good video by itself. All right, you can give me the you can spoil it for me. What is the one big thing, Jeremy? I'm curious. So I'm sure we'll do a commander podcast. Well, we got the monument and we got the pit automation. Okay, we just got to mill a few cards. And we're up against Pepe Sylvia. Yeah, I mean, we flooded out last game, but I think we were still playing the correct number of lands. About it. So, who in chat went to pre-release? Always said, I actually... I was talking to someone who was it might have been Richard. I was talking about having Danny DeVito play Lute in the upcoming Magic. Oh yeah, the Magic movie. We didn't even talk about that. Oh yes. Did y'all see that? Did you all see there's a Magic movie? There's a Magic apparently. There's a new Magic movie. It was just announced. It was just announced last week since our last stream. Not only is there a new IRL movie with real people, apparently, they're making the Magic Cinematic Universe. It's going to be a whole universe of TV shows and videos, anything you can imagine Magic related, all in one. My question for you, Chet, is it actually going to happen this time? Is it actually going to happen this time? This is what, the third announcement? This time they had the Game Nights crew announce it, which makes me think they must think it's kind of legit, because they're even going outside of WotC directly. I guess they're pretty closely related, but still, like, it seems like they must think it's happening, but will it really, truly actually happen? That's a whole nother question. Do we play the River Churn? So this saddles, this attacks, gets a basic. Yeah, we're just gonna run it out. We're gonna run out the monument. The only problem with running out the monument early is if our opponent blows it up, then it's gone. What would the story be? That's my question. What would the story be? So I think they're actually intending to do it, right? They got to be intending to do it. There's no way they make this announcement if they're not intending to. Things change all the time. So who knows? I mean, we're talking years in the future that would come out. So who knows where it'll be years in the future? I don't think they'll do the Brothers War. That was the first thing I thought of as like one of the most iconic and well-known Magic stories. But I don't know if that's the kind of story they want to make a movie about. I think it might be like, could it be the current storyline? Like, is it going to be, you know what? It's Callan and Lute go backpacking around Europe, fall in love. just like in Spider-Man was there. The iconic flavor and lore of Magic the Gathering. all in one movie. I actually know the Callan and Loot romance might be one of the future shows in the cinematic universe. I just thought it was funny that the Wizards, they've announced like 3 times, oh, we're gonna do this movie, we're gonna do this movie, we're gonna do this movie. The movie never actually ends up happening, and then this time, oh, they didn't just say they're going to do a movie. We're creating a cinematic universe. They went all Marvel. I was like, no, wait, maybe you should actually just make a movie once before you come out with your third announcement and say, we're making a cinematic universe with movies and TV shows and games. I was like, how about we do a movie? Maybe we just actually do one movie first and actually have that come to fruition before we start talking cinematic universes. But I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Although I also think that a bad movie is worse than no movie. Like a bad magic movie, I think is worse than no magic movie at all. So that would be my one concern. Yeah, we might start milling ourselves too for the Gravestalker opponent, increasing that. How many cards I got in the graveyard? 2. Yeah, let's do a little milling. Mill ourselves. Oh, our whir. I guess we don't need our whir as much now that we already have the River Turn Monument. Untap. We're actually not that far away from winning, honestly. So, okay, let's math this out. They have 23 cards in their deck. We can mill them next turn. There's 6 cards in there. There's 6 cards in their graveyard. So, mill 1 is 6. Mill 2 is 12. That's 18. Almost, but not quite enough. Well, let's play the land. Oh, we can also use this mana to activate abilities. What does this do? Start your engines. Max speed. Do we just pass? Passing sounds weird, but I kind of like getting rid of this Mustang. Yeah, let's just pass. Let's just pass, play defense. I mean, we're like 2 turns away from the River Turn Monument kill. Very, very, very close. Opponent, land, and the D&D movie both gives me hope and scares me. It gives me hope. Hey, what's up, Ferret? How are you? Good to see you. It gives me hope because the D&D movie was really well received. It was well done. So it gives me hope that if they can do that for a D&D movie, they can probably make a pretty good movie about magic. The thing that scares me is the D&D movie was kind of a banger, and it was kind of a banger, and it still lost Hasbro money. So I do have a little fear that... what are they going to cast a bunch of pump spells on this? Oh no, our combo kill plan. Oh no, okay, that actually makes life kind of harder. Well, Milia, we do get rid of that forever. Combo, put it on the top of your deck and then mill it. Hey, what's up, Labrador? Good to see ya. We're trying some Etherdrift Limited today. Well, they kill our pit automation. Our Gravestalker is getting cheap, though, which is good. The old post-combat Haster, another Glory Heart Lynx. That's a big board. That is a big board. We draw land. We'll play the land. Play the Gravestalker as a 5/4. Play the Thopterist. Make a Thopter and pass the turd. See if we can stay alive. Boner on taps. How good do you think max speed is? Commander bracket's coming out. Yeah, I'm waiting. There's supposed to be an article, they said. As soon as the article comes up, we're gonna be checking it out and delving into whatever this announcement is. But max speed. My initial impression of max speed is it's actually pretty easy to get max speed. But having max speed doesn't matter all the time. So it actually, my perception on it almost completely shifted. Where my initial thought was going to be, it's going to be very difficult to get, but the reward is really high when you get there. That changed to, it's going to be pretty easy to get, but the reward is hit or miss. Sometimes the reward's really good, but other times it's not especially very good or very helpful. So it's going to be interesting to see just how good it ends up being. Opponent, we've got the rover blades. That is, I mean, double strike is kind of scary. Oh man, I wish we could double the monument. Losing the ability to double the monument really hurts. Well, Melia. 10 cards in the graveyard. Yeah, we would have been able to combo kill this turn. Oh, Demonic Junker. Demonic Junker is kind of nice. So if we play this, what's our opponent's best thing, though? What do we even want to kill? They can put 2 counters on this. Well, I mean, let's play the Junker. Affinity for Artifacts. Apocalypse for the 59th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. I guess we can get rid of this big-butted one drop. Not going to blow up our own stuff. Not even going to bother to attack here. It just doesn't really matter. We're not really trying to win with damage at this point. Sure. Crew up the Rover Blades. I mean, Rover Blades, those are the cards that are pretty unsetty, I think. Like, I feel like if this card was printed 10 years ago, it would have been an unset. On the other hand, I think the idea of an equipment vehicle is actually cool. Like, it's one of those, maybe it's like, someone said earlier, I own an LGS, people in my pre-release for Aetherdrift, they love the mechanics of the set, but we're pretty meh on the flavor. And I think maybe that's where we end up with stuff. Like, I think Rover Blades is a super cool card. But then, I don't know about, the flavor is just kind of goofy a little bit. So, were there even vehicles 10 years ago? Vehicles started in Kaladesh, which was what, 2016? Not quite. Vehicles came out 8 years ago. Oh, they didn't have an answer. Wait, is this game? Opponent's 1511, Melia. That's game, right? Riverturn Monument, proving to be as absurd as we thought. Wait. Limited tier 3. I feel like I missed this. So brackets in beta. 1 to 5 with 5 being CDH. Okay. The big curveball is 40 cards across all colors called Game Changers. Limited to 3 in bracket 3 decks. Unlimited in 4 and 5. None in 1 and 2. Ooh. I can't wait for this article now. This is going to be very interesting. Oh, I hope they get this article up soon because that list idea is very, very. Oh, I found that. Okay, we gotta finish this draft. There's some clips from the stream on Reddit. I see the list. Okay, so if you watch the WotC stream, what is your initial reaction? Oh, it's my turn. Mill you, kill you. Haven't seen the article yet, but people are like screen capping the stream and posting it. Hang on, let's see. 13-13. That looks like game to me. 13-13. So Riverturn Monument is busted as it looks. Yes, we would like to exhaust you, opponent. Good game. Mill equal to the cards in your graveyard and pass. That was almost too easy. That was almost too easy. All right, we're gonna wait for the art. We're gonna wait until 2 at least. I imagine the WotC stream's gonna end, and they're gonna publish the article, and then we'll have all the information. If they don't publish the article and it gets near the end of the stream, hey, malicious. We got a new achievement. That's better than collector, I think. I think I'd rather be malicious. Where do I become malicious? advanced it. This was have an opponent lose the game by drawing from an empty library. Boom. Malicious. Wait, do I not get a... Oh, I don't get like a name? I thought I got the name tag. I wanted the name tag. Okay. I thought I could be malicious. But apparently not. Have you tried Civ 7 yet? I have not. I really want to. I am going to shortly, but tough timing for release with Aetherdrift stuff. So I haven't got a chance to play it yet. How's it look? Am I going to be disappointed? Actually, I won't be disappointed because one of the things I've learned about Civ is I'm always going to be disappointed when it first releases because normally the way Civ works is it's released and it's like 75% finished. And then once you get all the patches and stuff in like a year, the game's so incredible. But so I expect it's going to be kind of like that. Do I have a favorite Civ? It's probably Civ 5. I think Civ 5 was always my favorite to the point where I actually didn't switch over to 6. I didn't switch over to 6 for a long time because I thought that 5 was just better and I enjoyed playing it more. Eventually, I switched over to 6 and I do like 6 now. The main thing I didn't like as much about 6 was like the district thing, restricting. One of the things I like to do is just monument spam, or wonder spam. Like, just build crazy wonders. I think that's a fun way to play sometimes. And the city being restricted to districts made that style of gameplay a lot harder, which is probably good overall, but I've seen some, like I watch some Potato McWhiskey stuff and whatnot to keep up on the Civ news. So I've read a little bit about it. I don't know. I'm not like early negative reviews of a Civ game don't shake me because I feel like every Civ game is kind of medium when it releases, but then it becomes really good. If you like Civ and you want to watch content about Civ, I would recommend Potato McWhiskey. He's like an Irish guy, and he's a very good Civ player, and actually like does a good job of editing down the content to be like entertaining. That's one of the issues with Civ is Civ is such a long game that it can lead to tedious content. But I think Potato McWhiskey actually does a good job of turning Civ into digestible content, even if you're not like a hardcore Civ person. Yeah, that's where I was. I came to be okay with districts, but that was what made me like 5 more than 6 for a long time, even after 6 launched. But then once I actually like got more into 6 and got used to it, it was fine. I like 6 now. I still think 5 is my favorite. Opponent gets in. Yeah, I mean, I don't want them to just remake the game every time, but at the same time, I think it's also fair to like dislike aspects of a change. I think the reason I didn't really like districts is I thought that it made it a lot harder to play like a wonders-based game, which I thought was just fun. Even not trying to win, just seeing like how many wonders you can build. And it made it a lot clunkier to build wonders. I think it actually made it more strategic in the end because it put restrictions on where you could put wonders and it made it more challenging, which I think is more realistic because it's not really realistic that any culture could just build any wonder. A lot of wonders have to do with your physical location, the resources that you have, the geography of your country and your civilization. So it's not realistic that, whatever, North America would somehow be building the Egyptian pyramids. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. So it's probably better overall, but it still made it less fun. But I came around on it. Random question. How do y'all make decks for Commander Clash? It's not like y'all hold on to every card from every week, right? Oh, it's a lot of shifting through stuff. So we have decent amount of cards. And then plus like staples, you kind of get used to the ones that you need. So we got pretty decent collections. So that helps. And then we just fill in the gaps however we can. But yes, we don't just hold on to every card all the time. That would get very, very expensive. Outrageous Tyrannosaurus! Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 30th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. When this attacks by saddle, then tap up to post one counter on it. So you can saddle, attack. That's a 4/2. The Sopter thing seems decidedly medium. But I guess we're going to play it. Play the Thopter thing. Make the Thopter. Pass the turn. Good to see Outrageous Tyrannosaurus. I feel like strategy games, I mean, I think that's true. There was, what is the name? Lord, has anyone played Lords of the Realm, I believe it's called. Lords of the Realm. I don't know if anyone remembers this game. Lords of the Realm came out in 1994. This game, I guess it's on Steam now. Yeah, this was, when I was a kid, this was like one of my favorite strategy games. Lord of the Realms were just so fun. But that's a game that I actually recently, like a couple years ago, I actually got it again. I mean, it's obviously not up to the standards of modern games, but I still actually enjoyed... Yep, peasants to block for the archers, exactly. But I still actually enjoyed playing it. I think that strategy games do kind of have this, like, somewhat of a timeless element compared to other games. Oh, I've never played Heroes of Might. Please tell me there's a way to turn off the highlights when my opponent mouses over the cards. Always been annoying, but now it's worse. Ooh, I haven't noticed it, but there, as far as I know, is not a way to turn that off. Opponent, Regal Imperiosaur. And oh, did you see this promo? How do you feel about this Prosperous Innkeeper? I actually think that Prosperous Innkeeper is like S tier. I think that is like such a cool looking card. The Fauna Shaman looks alright too, but I feel like as Prosperous Innkeeper, they should do like a whole Secret Lair run in that style. I really like the all black with one color style. I think it looks actually super cool. Guideline Optimizer. Man, opponent's just playing big stuff. Maybe we're playing this format wrong. We keep trying to do these like, oh, I'm gonna be like synergistic. I'm gonna do these cute little synergy things. And then our opponents are just like, I'm just gonna play the biggest things possible and attack you. And it turns out that just playing the biggest things possible and attacking is kind of an effective way to win games of Magic. Readability suffers. Oh, speaking of readability, I wonder if I can find this. There was a story over. I want to get your opinion on this because I want to see how realistic it was. There was. Oh, I can't find the post. Okay, so it was a tournament over the weekend. A player tapped their land, and then realized they afterwards, as the game progressed, that they had tapped the wrong land. Tried to undo it. Their opponent said no. When their opponent said they couldn't do it, they said, well, the issue was, the article's not up yet that I've seen. Well, the issue was that I'm colorblind, and I thought that my island was a swamp because it confused me. And they ended up getting DQ'd from the tournament for cheating, for that excuse. And I was curious if there is any way that was legit. I know nothing about colorblindness. I know it exists, but I don't know anything of the details of it. Is there any realistic possibility that someone who was colorblind would play lands in their deck that were confusing enough they'd accidentally tap their islands instead of the swamps? I was trying to figure out if it was actually like a cut and dried case of cheating, or if there could be more Could be more to the story. Well, we're going to do a little block in. We have the bounce spell, so if our opponent's going to use pump spells or something, we do have a way to get out of this, sort of. Exhaust to put 2 counters on it. Okay. And this Mustang's looked really good. The Mustangs looked really good. Aw. Yeah, I guess we bounced that. Hopefully they're not also playing a pump spell or something, or we're like kind of wrecked. We're 1-0 at the moment. Although I'm not feeling especially confident in this one. I feel like we might be losing this one. A reminder, by the way, that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them from cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. I mean, it's possible, but it's on them because they have legitimate issues. It's 100% preventable. When they were sleeving up their deck, yeah, that was kind of my thought, right? If you were colorblind, why would you play? I didn't know. Someone said, well, like, maybe they got tireder at the end of the day and couldn't see as well or something. I don't know if colorblindness worked that way, because my initial impulse was, why in the world would you play a land that you might accidentally confuse as another land if you knew that you were colorblind? Like, why? That is a very weird choice that you would only make theoretically to potentially be able to cheat with. Just mark the cards so you know which one it is. That we call that the Yuya technique. Oh, man. About it. Well, I mean, Demonic Junker can hopefully get rid of this Mustang, which this card is going up in value for me. I feel like this Mustang might actually be a pretty good card. I'll kill the Mustang for now. At some point, we're going to be worrying for... At some point, we're going to be worrying for our Return Monument. Yuya is actually colorblind. Yeah, but Yuya's cheating didn't involve colors, though. It involved bending the corners of the sleeve so you could tell where the Tron lands were. So the colors, not really. Oh, okay. We got a trick. Another trick. Fierce Guardian, okay. Oh, yeah, that is a trick. And we're falling pretty far behind. Trade the Helms. Not looking great at the moment. Well, we will pass the turn, man. I think they might have us here. Last game, we just managed to live long enough to win with the monument. This game, I think it's going to be too... Are there any other artifacts we can whir up that would change things here? Four to flash. Oh, and they have removal. When this enters, exile artifact your creature opponent controls so it leaves the battlefield. This puts us pretty dead. Well, so we're going to take the Thopterus. So we're going to crew the Junker. What else is in our deck that we could potentially whir for that might save us? How many cards are in their graveyard? 2? That is not a very big number. Well, let's do some whirring. Let's whir for 3. Get a... Do we just take a blocker? We probably do. Yeah, take diversion unit. Block. Kill them both. We need a draw, though. Oh, that's not the draw. That's not the one. Well, 1, 2. Actually, what if we give them the Junker? How insane is that? Is that the worst idea ever? The War Art's so good. Wait, do we... Yeah, the new Basri is really good, dog. I don't think there's literally any cats in the set, but Basri is very good in a cat deck. Exchange control of an artifact or creature you control, and an artifact or creature an opponent controls. We could trade the Junker for the Expert. Yeah, and then hope our opponent doesn't top deck. I mean, this is a risky, not very exciting plan, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're about to die. Yes, you can crew. That's fine. Well, we got ourselves an Afterburner Expert. I just got kicked out of a draft game, tried to re-enter, won the new game, came back with a loss and a win. Early release day. Ooh, Hull-Drifter is actually great here. Release day on Arena, you never know. Wait, that... Exile an artifact or creature from your graveyard. It becomes an artifact creature. Ooh. Okay, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. No, they can just crew it. All right, and that's also really good against our mill plan because it keeps our graveyard empty. Well, opponent. And if the Afterburn Expert dies, they can get it back with an exhaust ability. I mean, I guess we can take 7 down to 1 and then flood the engines it. That might be our best bet. Found it. Fires up the Earth Rumbler. These vehicles are pretty good. We're hull drifting. Trying to. Tokyo hull drifted. Found it. Combat. Gets in for 7. Yeah. No fear. No fear. If you got a pump spell, we'll die. All right, down to 1. And start your engines, max speed, exile from the graveyard, draw a card, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that is a crew. Is a crewer. Reef Road. That's actually not... I mean, if we're going to draw another land, that might be the best time to draw Reef Road. So 1, 2. Sack the Reef Road, make a pilot. 1, 2, 3. Tap down the Earth Rumbler. And pass the turn. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Hey, good goalie. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Glad you like it. Are you in love with Loot already? I mean, I actually think Loot is really good. I think we're gonna build some cool decks around Loot with Egg of the Soul Cauldron and some of the graveyard shenanigans. So I kind of still don't like Loot as a character, but I like Loot the new run as a card. I think it's actually a very powerful card that's actually gonna be fun to play. Found it. Fires up our Demonic Junker. Oh, fires up the Chariot. Okay. Wait, this is good for us, right? We're okay with this? Because we can block and block. And then we get back our Thopter thing? Wait, this doesn't have trample, does it? It does not have trample. Okay. So we get back our Thopter thing. We get rid of one of the vehicles. Opponent passing. We draw. All right. Little flying exhauster. I mean, I guess we got to go into the try to kill you mode. Hit you down to 16. I can't believe we're still in this game. I felt like we were so far behind for so long, but we're kind of still in it somehow. Yeah, oops, all loots. I don't know. It might be in standard just because all the loots are in standard, right? Are you going to do a Chromox deck in Timeless? You haven't played in a while, and there are special guests from the last few sets. It looked fun to try out. Probably. How has Timeless been? Timeless got a little bit wrecked by the modern unbannings. I've been playing a lot of Timeless, and then standard has also been good. +1/+1 vigilance, sure. But then when they did the modern unbannings, I started to play a lot more modern. So I haven't played much Timeless recently. The article is up. Okay. Once we finish this game, we're going to delve into this article because I'm very curious what this is about. Opponent combat. Opponent going to go attacking. I don't know what I'm missing here. Is this some sort of trap? Oh, okay. I'm still not sure if it's a trap. Oh, all right, not a trap. Not a trap. Our opponent actually just oopsed it. Okay, we will accept that. All right, as soon as this game ends, we're going to dig into this Commander article. And I want your opinions. Be thinking. I want to know what y'all think about this. We got to start being a little more aggressive. Hit ya. Down to 10. Pass the turn. Opponent taps. Flood the Engine's been huge here. Keeping this Earth Rumbler tap down has been huge. I feel like Exhaust actually plays pretty well. I kind of like Exhaust. It's not like the most innovative mechanic, but it's actually kind of like a fine, fun mechanic to play. We're doing a draft right now. It's our traditional once a set limited stream. Oh, opponent passing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not lethal, but not that far away. Opponent passes. We draw another land. We'll go to combat. Hit ya. And also hit ya. Opponent. Down to 4. Well, this is the turn, opponent. You gotta draw something. Opponent. Looking at our Thopterist. Looking at their vehicle. Oh! Wow! And we die. My God. Ah! Wow. Oh. Should we have played differently? Should we have not attacked with the Thopterist in case they drew Broken Wings? I mean, so the issue is Broken Wings blows up the enchantment. So then this untaps. And then this is a vehicle that crews itself and it has trample. We have 6 toughness. That has 7 power. So it hits us for exactly 1. I don't know. So I think the punt was this. So here's the punt wasn't this turn. The punt I think was last turn. If I was actually mathing it out and not just chatting, but if you thought it through and mathed it out, if we had attacked with the 2 1/1s last turn, left back the pit automation, we would hit for 2 more last turn, which would have theoretically let us hit for 2 this turn and have lethal. So I think that's where we went wrong. Is we probably should have attacked with these last turn, just to shorten the number of turns for our opponent to draw. We'd still be dead to our opponent drawing this, but we could have potentially cut one draw off of it. The Broken Wings. All right, let's look at this article. Introducing commander brackets. So blah 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 blah. It's Gavin. Gavin's awesome. Like Gavin will be Mark Rosewater one day, and that will be a great thing for Magic. Gavin is one of the best things, in my opinion, about Wizards. So we're here to talk about our beta test of our new Commander matchmaking system, Commander Brackets. We talked about it in October, blah, 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 blah. Here's 3 things. So number one, I expect that many people who play Commander, nothing will change. You continue to play with your friends, as you always have without digging into the system. That's totally fine. Okay, so basically, you can opt into this, you cannot opt into this. Number two, this system, or really any system, can't stop bad actors. If someone wants to lie to you and play mismatch, this can't really prevent it. However, a lot of people just want to play the game in earnest with others like theirs, and this aims to help them in that regard. Okay, number three, it's a beta test. Your feedback's critical. Let us know what you think. All right, so Commander bracket overview. There are 5 Commander brackets. So it sounds kind of like what they said before. 5 Commander brackets. Each meant to classify a different kind of gameplay. Brackets 1, 2, and 3 are different levels of socially focused play. 4 and 5 are higher powered, even competitive play. Here's the brackets with the description. So bracket 1, ultra casual commander. No mass land destruction, no extra turns, no 2-card infinites, no game changers, whatever those are. Very few tutors. Number 2 is core, which is the average pre-turn start. So this would be like a flavor deck. This would be ladies looking left, or men in hats, or there's a chair in all the artwork. Or when I went to last Magic Con Vegas, there was someone playing a deck that I think was like $20,000, but it was all the dinosaur Jurassic Park cards, the special treatments that are like super rare and expensive. The deck was not like busted or anything. It was very flavorful. I think that would fall into level 1. Level 2, core. Average current precon deck. Pretty easy. No mass land destruction. No chaining extra turn spells. So in 1, you don't play extra turns. In 2, you don't chain them together. No 2-card infinites. No game changers. Few tutors. 3 is upgraded. This is the strength of an average precon deck. Upgraded beyond the strength of an average precon deck. No mass land denial. No chaining extra turns. 2 late game 2-card infinites are okay. 3 game changers. 4 is optimized. High powered commander, go wild. No restrictions other than the ban list. 5 CDH, high powered and metagame focused mindset. Okay, I mean that makes sense, right? I would say most people probably play between 3 and 4. I think most people are somewhere in this range. I actually think 3.5 might be the most common. Like, I feel like most people don't really want restrictions other than the ban list. They're not explicitly banning extra turn spells or mass land destruction. At the same time, most people are not playing mass land destruction or chaining extra turn spells. So I think it's somewhere in between there. I think, yeah, I think that's normal. And then you have the outliers on either end of the scale. So I think 3.5 is probably the new 7. What would Commander Clash decks be? And I guess it depends on the theme. Like, we definitely have some weeks that are 1s, where it's like, every card must start with the letter S or something. Like, when you have those weird themes, those would probably be 1 decks. I would say that most Commander Clash decks are in that same range, 3 to 4s, I would say. I mean, if this is an actual precon deck, I don't think Commander Clash decks are precon decks. So I think it would be somewhere in that range. It's mostly 2s and 3s. But I mean, remember, 2 is like literally a precon. I mean, I guess a lot of people actually play that level. You're not a 4. I mean, going by this definition, I think the thing that would keep it from being 4-y is like, because the definitions are about the things you're allowed to play, right? So the difference between 3 and 4 is, at 4, I guess you explicitly are allowed to play mass land destruction. You're explicitly allowed to chain together extra turns. You're explicitly allowed to 2-card infinite combo. You can Thoracle, right? You can explicitly, if you want a Thoracle combo, that's perfectly fine. So I guess it's more towards 3, because we typically don't do those things. Like, in general, we're not going to want to bust a mass land destruction. You're not going to be Thoracle winning. Yeah, we got to get to, okay, blah, 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 blah. What does this Game Changers say? What is the Game Changers list? You saw several mentions of it. This is something new we want to introduce. We think will help be a huge help for matchmaking and understanding the format. Game changers dramatically warp a game of Commander, allowing players to run away with resources, shift games in ways that many players dislike, block people from play, efficiently search for their strongest cards, or have commanders that tend to take away from more casual games. And unlike some of the previous systems we discussed, it's only a single additional list to track. Oh, that's actually, so one thing I like about this, when they first talked about doing the bracket thing, they made it sound like they were going to try to go through and like put each card in a bracket, and like, so Cyclonic Rift would be a 4, but Swords would be a 2, and Diabolic Tutor a 2, but Vampire Tutor a 4. That would have been a mess. So I like that this seems to distill it down into 40 cards rather than doing that with every card in Magic, which just isn't realistic. In addition to its function, you can imagine this is sort of a watch list. Any future bans are likely to come from this list, save for maybe something that shows up in a new set and immediately causes problems like Anadu. Similarly, banned cards are likely to end up, unbanned cards are likely to end up here. So if a card gets unbanned, it goes on this list. This creates a nice half step between ban list and showing up. That is actually actually a pretty good thing, because one of the biggest issues, actually honestly the biggest issue I think with the Mana Crypt banning, was not that they banned Mana Crypt. I think that was the right choice. I actually will still defend the RC on that, but they announced it in a way that did not give any notice, and it caught a lot of people by surprise. I think if there was signaling and messaging that, like, you better keep an eye on Mana Crypt, this might not be a healthy thing, you know, it's on this watch list, I think that would have made it less painful. I think a big part of what went so wrong with that ban list update was purely just people being shocked because they didn't have any idea it was coming. I feel like this is going to help there. Like, having this watch list, it also gives us tools to unban cards and try to nudge them and nudge around cards without needing a ban. That's also kind of cool. Like, if you don't want to fully ban something you put on the list, if a card shows up and is frustrating at casual table, but is finding competitive play, we can add to the Game Changers list. To be clear, most of the cards are unlikely to be banned, so you shouldn't go away trading away your guys' Cradles and Concern. However, it's a clear signal for players to know these cards indicate a different kind of play and might not be good to play against. We all discussed a lot of what we felt should be on the list to make it useful and manageable. We ended up with exactly 40 cards. The number is just a coincidence. All right, what is this Game Changers list? So white. So these are, okay. So for this to make sense, if you're playing power level 1 or 2, these cards are hard banned, right? If you're playing 1 or 2, you are not allowed to play these cards in your deck, or else your deck is not a 1 or 2. If you're playing 3, you're allowed to play 3 of these cards in your deck. But once you add the 4th one to your deck, then you're not a level 3 deck, and you got to play level 4. Level 4, level 5, you can play any number of these cards. This is where I think we're going to see some weirdness. Going back to talking about where Commander Clash falls on the scale, this might tip Commander Clash more towards 4 than 3, because if you're playing more than 3 Game Changers, then you're automatically a 4 or 5. I could see that actually being, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, let's read this list of cards. So for white, Drannith Magistrate, yes, I don't think you want that on 1s and 2s. Enlightened Tutor. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the tutor philosophy. So here would be my criticism of this. I go to set out to make Hedron alignment working Commander, something it is literally impossible, right? Let's say that's the goal of my deck. I am playing against the odds Hedron alignment in Commander. My deck sucks. It is a 1. It is a flavor deck. But I think that it would run Enlightened Tutor, and I think it should be able to run Enlightened Tutor. So you're going to see some weird corner cases there, right? Where I think the Dinosaur deck from Vegas, the person playing it was literally rule zeroing in Mana Crypt, so he had some chance to cast his horrible spells. And it was perfectly fine because the deck was so bad. Sarah Sanctum, the card's busted. Sarah Sanctum, it gets a pass compared to Sagaya's Cradle just because it's narrower and you don't play against enchantments as much as creatures. But the card's insane. Like, it should be on the list. Smothering Tithe. I mean, we've had this ban on Commander Clash for a while now. Trouble in Pairs, if you want a sneak peek of next season Commander Clash, Trouble in Pairs is almost certainly going to be banned on Commander Clash next season. So that seems like a reasonable list. For blue, Psych Rift, that's going to be a big change. Is this going to be mandatory? You can do whatever you want. So my understanding is if you're playing in your play group, you're just going to make up your own rules. This might be adopted to some extent at like Command Fest, Magic Cons, but even there, you're still going to be able to play however you want. You don't have to build your decks this way. Expropriate, yeah, that card should not even exist. Force of Will, yeah, it's busted. I'm glad Fierce is on there because Fierce is even worse than Force. My God, I hate Fierce. Rig Snake Study, one of the most complained about cards. Thoracle, yes, also shouldn't exist. Urza, that kind of surprises me. So this is the first commander we've seen. So what this means in practice, right, is if you want to have Urza be your commander, your deck is automatically going to be bracket 3+. You could play Urza in 99 Islands, and you'd be a bracket 3 deck, right? Just by the definitions in this. So this is kind of bringing back banned as commander, but not fully because it's only banning it at like the lower levels. But it is sort of akin to a banned as commander list, right? Because you were essentially banning this as a commander in any low-level decks. Mystical Tutor, sure, if you're going to do Enlightened Tutor. Jin-Gitaxias, yes, that card's miserable. Black, Bolas' Citadel. Bolas' Citadel is actually kind of fun. I don't know, does Bolas' Citadel deserve the heat? Like, yes, it's a very powerful card, but I don't know. That card doesn't actually make me as salty as some of the other ones on the list. Demonic Tutor, yeah, if you're going to ban all other ones. Imperial Seal, yeah. It is kind of funny to see Oppo Agent go, because you're banning all the tutors anyway. Actually, maybe that's the reason Opposition Agent is there, is if you're banning all these powerful tutors at the lower levels, what are you going to hate on with Oppo Agent? You're going to be hating on people doing their land ram thing. Turgrid joining Urza is the, like, banned as commander at lower levels. Vampire Tutor, sure, ad nauseum CDH card. Red, poor Red. Red is so bad it only gets 2 cards. Jessica's Will, Underworld Breach. The other one that I would say, Mana Geyser? I kind of feel like Mana Geyser is a problematic commander card. Or maybe it's just my bias from this season of Commander Clash, but I do feel like that card is kind of busted. That would be the third one I could see added to the list. Oh, yes, no Narset. The other thing we have to do, we'll look at it after. We'll finish the article, and then I wanna kind of look at the salt list and see. This seems kind of based on this salt list mixed with power. I'm curious if anything major is missing. Green, wow, Green doesn't get anything. Survival that no one plays anyway. Cradle that no one plays anyway. Vorinclex that no one plays any. Green got off scot-free. Like, this Green decks got hit by nothing. Like, sure, yes, these are cards that I have seen before, but Cradles in Survival is so expensive, and Vorinclex is so salty that I never see these cards he play. So Green really, for being the best color in Commander, really got off easy on this. Multicolor, Kinnan, Yuriko, Winota, Grand Arbiter. So these are, again, essentially just banned as commander at the lower levels cards. Seems like reasonable choices. They are all kind of like Mistake Commander, CDH Commander, Stacks Commander that people get salty about. Colorless. Oh, my precious. My precious. I literally have turned into Golem. I am Golem now. I gotta have my One Ring. In my commander deck, I gotta have my One Ring. One Ring, Trinisphere. I mean, yeah. Sure, yes. I mean, Trinisphere is very annoying. I have literally never seen anyone play Trinisphere in Commander outside of CDH, but just in case someone thought about it. Chrome Box, kind of funny that it just got the reprinting, and now it gets boosted up to levels 4 and 5 mostly. Grim Monolith, LED, Mox Diamond, Mana Vault, Lands, Ancient Tomb, good choice. Glacial Chasm, the Fog meta! The Fog meta is real. Validation of the Fog meta. This has to be because of the Fog meta. And the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. No, so the answer to the Soul Ring, I'm sure, is it's grandfathered in. That is always the answer with Soul Ring. Should Soul Ring be on this list? Yes. Will it ever be on the list? No. it's just something I guess we got to come to grips with, that it's viewed differently. It's viewed differently because of the history of the format. Going back to Sheldon's thoughts, like it's not going to happen. Yes, power level wise, 1,000,000% agree. It's just no one has the stomach to actually do something like that, even if it was going to be better. All right. So game changers and deck list view, sure. I will say, I don't know if this affects my decks that much. Thinking about the typical decks I build, I would imagine that many of them play less than 3 game changers anyway. Like the things that really hit on me, like Trouble in Paris and One Ring, I play a lot. We already don't play the fast mana. That's already banned. Jessica's Will, I'll play in red. I usually play a Demonic Tutor, but I don't play Imperial Seal. I feel like most of my decks will end up being level 3s. Quick recap, blah, 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 blah. Upcoming roadmap. I want to leave you all better understanding where we're heading next. First steps, share your thoughts. A bunch of people are going to try this at MagicCon Chicago. Then with a little information, we'll start to discuss potential unbans. With the Game Changer tool as a list, we can potentially unban cards and add them to the list to keep them in the higher brackets. I will say that this seems to open up the possibility of a lot of unbannings. I think this opens up the possibility. The goal of this will happen in a big article in late April. Roll out the system and unbans all together. I would not be surprised to see a lot of cards, a reasonably high number of cards, come off the ban list because of this. And then Q&A. I don't like this. Do I have to use it? No, not at all. Why is card X on the Game Changers list? So basically, tutor, stacks pieces, fast mana, overwhelming resource advantage, super annoying, storm enablers, fast mana, combo piece, best way to bounce stuff. Why isn't Soul Ring on the Game Changers list? You're correct, it qualifies as fast mana would otherwise be next to cards like Mana Vault. But the truth is that Soul Ring, it's Soul Ring. It's the most iconic card in Commander. It's something that since near the beginning has been the poster child for the format. Yeah, basically they're never going to do this. Why isn't this card on the list? We talked about it a ton. Send us your feedback. So I got to say, I think this could be beneficial. I think it could be beneficial. Primetime has potential for... I mean, if they're at the unbanned primetime stage, I could see them taking a huge amount of cards off the ban list and just growing the Game Changers list. Take 15 cards off the ban list and just add them all into here. Whether or not that would be a good thing, I actually don't know. I feel like primetime coming off is probably a problem. Green already is busted, and it has very few game changers. I feel like if you unban primetime and put it on here, every casual green deck will play that as one of their game changers, right? Because you're not going to play Cradle because it's $800 or Survival because it's $400 or whatever it is. You're not going to play Vorinclex because last time you did, your buddy punched you because they couldn't untap their lands. So that's going to be the one you just always play. No, I missed a Soul Ring quote. Playing one Soul Ring is a universal truth handed down by Sheldon Menery. So I will say, chat, what do you think of this? Is this going to affect you? So there's two things here. Is this going to affect your playgroups that you play with at your house, at your friend's house, whatever, that kind of stuff, like your local playgroup? I would say the answer is probably no. I think that, is this going to have any real impact on something like Commander Clash? Probably not, right? Because we're all friends. We all play together. We can kind of set our own rules, and we can ban Glacial Chasm if we want to 2 years ago, and we can unban it if we want to. So I think this has very little impact. Very little impact on your playgroups. I think where this would have an impact is going to be when you go to a MagicCon, when you go to a Command Fest, when you go out to a strange LGS and you're playing with strangers. I think that's where you'll see this have an impact. And I actually think it could be very beneficial there. In my head, in my perfect world, and there are kinks to be worked out. As I mentioned before, I think it's pretty awkward that if you're a super janky flavor deck. You can't play a tutor to find your janky stuff. Like, some of that stuff's a little bit weird. I think you're going to see flavor decks. They have to play at level 4 because they need to play tutors to find their janky pieces to show off their flavor. So there's some stuff around the edges that doesn't work out perfectly smoothly. But in my perfect world, the idea that you could build a deck and go to a command fest and not have to be like, okay, how many free counters do you have? Do you have any stacks pieces? Like, go through this whole song and dance to try to get the power levels. If you can just go to a command fest and be like, my deck's a level 3, let's get a bunch of level 3s, let's play a game. My deck's a level 5, my deck's a level 1, find other level 1s, play a game. I like that aspect of it. It might facilitate, grease the wheels a little bit, making that smoother, making gameplay quicker and more accessible for people. So that's the thing I'm mostly excited about. The actual game changers, it seems relatively realistic. It seems like a pretty solid list. I don't have any major issues with the list. So I can actually see this being a positive for those pickup games with strangers. I still don't know. Yeah. The biggest concerns, I would say, I think they're going to unban a lot of stuff. Green not being hit much by the game change. I don't know what you do with green. Like, green is the best color in Commander. They should have probably put Field of the Dead on there. You are correct. Field of the Dead should be a game changer. What does few tutors? Yeah, that's a good question. So the examples here are: winning's not the primary goal. You're trying to show off something unusual you made. Villains yelling in the art. Everything has a number 4. Oops, all horses. Stuff like that. So no game changers. No intentional 2-card infants, mass destruction, or extra cards. Tutors should be spares. Whatever, I guess, however you define spares. I would assume a couple of tutors, maybe. And those tutors are going to be not the most busted efficient ones. I also know that that's only referring to like demonic tutor style cards. From WotC's perspective, I'm pretty sure they're not counting like a rampant growth as a tutor. I know some people are like, oh, fetch land, it's technically a tutor, and it technically is tutoring a land from your deck on the battlefield. But I'm pretty sure this is specifically referring to actually tutors that get non-land cards. I don't think this is saying you can't play rampant growth in your power 1 decks, or you can't play Farseek in your power 1 decks, or whatever. Interesting. Well, I mean, I'm going to be excited to see what this leads to. I'm interested to see, do you think it'll take off? That's the other question. Like, are people going to do this? How many people are going to actually use this system for their games? I'm not sure. I think this is a way better attempt than what they did the first time. I think this is a more well thought out version of it. 3 is the new 7, and maybe we just end up in the same place that we always end up. That is also a possibility. The commander is just commander, and it's just commander, and the people are going to do what they want to do. I think that's where we'll see it a lot, is at LGS levels. LGS MagicCon levels. I think that's where this will be the most beneficial. I think it should be a positive for that style of play. Yes, we started stream. So, so the stream time's a little different now. So normally, today we started a little late because we were trying to wait for, that's awkward. We were trying to wait for the new set to drop so we could do a draft. So I guess we gotta flood the engines this thing, unfortunately, since it has lifelink now. And get and hit ya. So yeah, we started around noon today, but the actual stream time moving forward has been updated. 11 a.m. Eastern to around 2 p.m. Eastern. Well, there goes our removal spell. Found it. It's in. Starts the engines. Up to level 2. Well, that's a play a land. Play the Thopterus. We might just get to go flying beat down here. That life gain our opponent got from that one turn with the pilot was pretty good, but found it down to 16. The race is on. Hey, Seth, I've been working on a deck, and I need to make some cuts. Have any ideas? It's a Soul Cauldron combo with Exhaust sub-theme. Well, let me take a look. So, how do you view the Game Changer list? Like, do you view this as a ban list? What are you going to do with your current decks? That's my other question. So, are you going to take your current decks and try to put them into one of these brackets? Position cost gets a spell, second artifact. Yeah, all right. Sure. About it. Sax the pilot. Get some removal. You're just gonna play level 4. I mean, that's an easy way to do it, right? Well, hit ya. Down to 14. Play the optimizer. Pass the turn. I wonder if main decks are measurably worse than precons. It depends on how strict you are with the flavor. But yes, like, if you are very strict to the theme, and it's like, every card in my deck has a lady looking left in it, it's way worse than a precon. It's way worse than a precon. On the other hand, if you're like, well, my deck's lady is looking left, but I'm going to play 10 ram spells, 3 Raz, some card draw, some counter, some removal, and then like 30 ladies, then your deck is probably better than a precon. I think 3 is probably the new 7. I think 4, well, I feel like 4 is going to be pretty... So here's my concern about 4. And I'm curious what this means to all of you. I think most play is going to happen at 3 and less. Because I actually think people don't want to deal with mass land destruction and don't want to deal with chaining extra turn and 2-card combos. Like, that's... I'm not sure who level 4 is for. I like the everything goes idea. One of my concerns about this, and maybe that's the bad actors. You can't stop the bad actors or whatever that they mentioned in the article. But one of my concern is the way this is written. If you build a level 4 deck, you go to a Magic Con and you say, I'm looking for a level 4 game. This explicitly means that Armageddon's legal, right? This explicitly means that any mass land, anything goes. Like, if you go over to the salt list, like, if you play level 4 and your opponent goes turn 2 stasis, you don't get to untap, or turn 2 winter orb, that's what we're doing this game. I don't think you can't really say anything about that, right? You can't really, like, what are you going to do? If you're playing level 4, that's what you're signing up for. So I think that's what I think is going to keep people, that's what I think is going to make 3 the new 7. I think that's why we'll see most of the play at level 3, because I think a lot of commander players don't want to deal with mass land destruction, stacks pieces. It does seem like their list is very influenced by... I'm surprised we don't see like Winter Orb and Stasis and Static Orbs on there, but it seems very influenced by the salt list. Wait, does that mean... So Winter Orb is just... Oh, I guess Winter Orb is... maybe falls under mass land denial? Hopefully. Opponent going for the big attack. I'm not sure we're winning this race. Well, we will block. Take 7 from the vehicle. We've drawn so many lands. Opponent up to level 3. But yeah, so I think that's why we'll see level 3. I'm not sure about level 4 just because of that. I have concerns about that part of things. I mean, level 4 is going to be... It's basically CDH, right? It's basically CDH, except... according to their definition... Oh, boy. God dang it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a few land cards. That is a few. Yeah, we're going to pass the turn. This Crypt Caller's Chariot's kind of an issue. I think that, well, I think power level, it's basically the same, right? I think the difference, according to the WotC article, is it's CDH, you're building your decks to fight against a specific meta. And at level 4, you're just building the most powerful deck possible and not considering, like, oh, I might play against Kinnan, so I need this answer to that or whatever. Like, so I think power level wise, it's pretty similar. I don't know. Maybe people love it. Maybe the anything goes thing. I just imagine. So where does the bad actors fall into this? Like, let's say I roll up to a Magic Con with a level 4 deck that's built around stacks and mass land destruction. That's what my deck's doing. It's blowing up all your lands. It stacks and you're not going to have any fun. Is that... Oh, God. Not good. Like, is that being a bad actor? Is that an example of me being a bad actor, or is that just me playing the game? Like, is that being scummy, or is that just playing by the rules? That's what I'm not exactly sure on. But I mean, can people not be friends with me? Like, if I go to a Magic Con and do that to you, can you with a straight face look at me and be like, you know, I don't want to play with you next game? Because we're all playing level 4s, and I'm playing by the rules now. Like, that's kind of what I wonder about, like, the codifying of this. Like, if we were playing Modern, and I blew up all your lands, you couldn't be like, hey, you can't play with me again because you blew up my lands. I'd be like, that's insane. I just did what the game tells me. Like, I'm playing by the rules of the game. Like, what do you have to be upset about? I wonder if that's going to be a thing in Commander now. That would be one of my concerns. Is as much as this makes an explicit list of what you should not play based on the game changer list. Like, this is a list of cards that telling you literally you can't play these or shouldn't play these at certain levels. It also goes the opposite way too, right? Where it kind of explicitly says, if you're at level 4, you can play these cards. Like, the fact that it's not listed there, this does explicitly say you're allowed to play Armageddon. It does explicitly say you're allowed to chain together extra turns. It does explicitly, that is what it's saying. Like, if you're playing level 4, that's what you're signing up for. And I wonder if that's, man, we are drawing an insane amount of lands. Way too many lands. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 18. And I think we're dead because of that. Yeah, I mean, the flooding out. Jeez. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out, or maybe that's the bad actor problem that is mentioned at the intro. Maybe that's being considered a bad actor, right? Like, maybe you're a bad actor, but those are the things I wonder about. Social contract is still the social contract. If you're a pedantic jackass, people aren't forced to play with you. I mean, that's true, but are you being a pedantic jackass if you show up to a level 4 game of Commander and play cards that Wizard says you can play at level 4 in Commander? Like, are you being a jackass? I'm not sure that you are. Like, if you show up to Modern and play Ponza, are you being a jerk? Or play Lantern, are you being a jerk because you're locking your opponent out of the game? In Modern, that you're not considered to be. It's considered to be fair game because you're both signed up for that format. Like, so I'm not sure if it works that way or not. It's going to be interesting to see the effect it has. But I will say that overall I view this as a positive, especially for pickup games against randoms. I think it's kind of like it doesn't matter for playgroup games. I don't think it's actually a big deal either way. But I do think it is a definite positive for... Yeah, let's get down the siphon. For those pickup games, playing against strangers. I think it'll be really good. I'm going to have to dig into it a little bit more. Hey, what's up, Cat Cam fan? I'm sorry. I guess I didn't realize jackass was considered swearing. I try to be careful about swearing, but my apologies. I wasn't thinking that one was across the line. There were also, yeah, that was another question I had with brackets, and I'm not sure on. So, do you feel like this? Does this incentivize you to go as far as the bracket? I remember this coming up with when they initially announced the brackets. Does this incentivize you to go as far as possible within the bracket? Like, if you're going to build a level 2 deck, are you going to try to maximize the power so you're as... What is this? Man, so many vehicles. Are you going to try to maximize it? Are we going to have, like bracket 1 EDH? Bracket 2 EDH? Maybe. Well, let's play the land, and I think we just pass here. Yeah, let's just pass, see what our opponent does. Leave up our removal. Trip up feels kind of expensive. Maybe this is not a good removal. Maybe it's not a very good removal format. Guidelight Synergist. Flying +1/+0 for each artifact you control. All right. It's a 2/4. And I'm gonna crew up the motorcycle. And combat, opponent attacks. Well, I think we need to get rid of the Synergist. So how many cards do you think are going to get unbanned? Like, are you going to go out and buy any cards based on the possibility of them being unbanned? So someone said Gavin called out Primetime as an example on the stream, which... Primetime's... Wow, man, we're so good at flooding with this deck. But, I mean, Primetime... I think is a pretty busted card. I think that Primetime's actually pretty insane. So if they're looking at this as like Primetime can come off the unbanned list, we'll look at the unbanned list in a minute, since apparently we're about to die. So I will say, I think that this, I mean, I think we're drawing way too many lands for one thing. We have just super duper epic flooded throughout this, all of our drafts today. We're just, every time our opponent's like 4 lands gas, and we're like 8 lands, like hope we draw some action. So I think we've kind of low rolled just on the variance, but I also feel like decks are way more aggressive than we give them credit for. Like, I think this actually is like a all attack super aggro format. And I think we keep trying to do these like slow clunky things when I think what you want to be doing is like curve out vehicle, attack, get your opponent dead. So that's my impression of this format so far, is it's actually a pretty aggro format, and rather than a slower, grindy control style format. We'll bounce that. Then we'll trade with this. Get an artifact off the battlefield. We'll look at the commander ban list in a minute, by the way. Penny Bob, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Ooh, removal. Removal is good. We'll play the Reef Road. And, yeah, let's actually this is 2. 1, 2, sack. Oh, then we can't cast the removal, though. All right, let's leave up the removal this turn, I guess. Removal plus card draw, that seems fine. Welcome to the Fishbowl, Pretty Neat Bob. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Start your engines. Goblin Surveyor. Oh, there's a whole cycle of these. The exile from the graveyard. Interesting. A whole cycle. The exile from a graveyard to draw a card if you get max speed. So when this attacks by saddled, +2, +1, +2 in flying. Found at combat. Attacks. Well, let's kill this thing. Gain a couple life. Draw with the Siphon. Alright. I mean, Gravestalker's not bad. That's a body at least. And let's play a rat. Let's play a Reef Road. Play the Gravestalker. All right, we might be okay now. We might be okay. We've stabilized. We're drawing cards. Our opponent's not. The point of the brackets is to replace. It does seem like that's the idea. It seems like that's the problem that's trying to be solved. Is Rule Zero conversations. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how it plays out in practice. I think the way to look at it is that brackets don't replace Rule Zero discussion. They help everyone on the same page. Laying out the boundaries and identifying groups of powerful card strategies helps gives people. But isn't that? Doesn't that make it harder though? Like if this isn't replacing mostly, if it's not replacing the Rule Zero conversation, doesn't this just make things clunkier? Because now we're supposed to have like, then you have a Rule Zero conversation. First you have a conversation about what bracket you're in and how many game changers you're playing. And then on top of that, we also do a Rule Zero conversation. I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by Rule Zero. There's always going to be like, I think it's true that you're always going to have some, how do you play a game of Commander with people that you don't know at a LGS or at a Magic Con without having some sort of conversation? Like, just think about what that looks like. You're like walking around a convention center. You want to play a game of Magic with people. You're like, hey, you want to play a game of Magic? I'm playing this. It's roughly like this. If that's what we mean, then yeah, I don't think there's any way that ever goes away. Because I don't even know how you like, it's natural, right? It's part of meeting strangers at a Magic Con and like setting up a game. Like that's going to happen no matter what. I do think it's going to be different now though, if this bracket system takes off, where I think the expectation is probably going to change to, if you say, I'm playing a level 3 deck, I don't think you like, or a bracket 3 deck, I don't think the expectation is going to be that you go through your deck and be like, well, here's my 3 game changers. You know, one of them's a free counter spell. You know, if you don't like it, I'll take. I think the expectation would be, if you're a level 3 deck, then your deck is fine to play against other level 3 decks. I mean, I think that's actually kind of hilarious, Doug. The meanest level 1 deck possible. It probably is good for content, right? But then at the same time, I think that's where maybe the bad actor thing comes in. Like, if you're setting out to try to abuse the system, you're gonna be able to. Like, if your goal is, I'm gonna abuse the system, I'm gonna make other people have a bad time out of it by staxing them out at level 1 because my flavor deck is like whatever stacks pieces looking left. That would probably be the bad actor element. It would be gonna be a funny video though. It's gonna be oh boy, Crim. Oh no. Oh no, is this giving Crim more permission to stacks me? I feel like it is. I feel like this is sending the message to Crim that you should stack Seth even more often. There's always going to be stronger game changers than others. Ancient Tomb is most commonly played. Well, I think it's time to get our mill rock here. Let's Word of Invention. Get the monument. And let's start the milling. Mill you. How many cards we got in the graveyard? 8? That's actually quite a few. Oh my god, that's even more lands. All right, well, I feel like we're getting to almost to the calculate. We haven't pulled out the You know what? For old time's sake, let's pull up a little hypergeometric calc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 23. Let's see. 40. How unlucky are we? 40. Number of successes, 17. Sample size, 12. No. Sample size, 23. We've drawn 12. How unlucky are we? Actually not that unlucky. We're in like the bottom 10% of draws, where this will happen about 13% of the time we'll draw that amount of land. So actually not insanely unlucky by any stretch. Actually kind of like I mean, not a good draw. I guess we also got to take into account that we have more lands than our opponent, but we've also drawn 6 more cards than our opponent. So I think that's also part of the reason why. Moxfield is already updated, so your game changers are in your list. Ooh, I'm curious. I would love to know if you look. I also love Hyper Geometric Calculator. I would love to know if you look at your lists. If you look at your lists, do they just? How many game changers are you playing in general? Does Winter Orb count as mass land destruction? Maybe Winter Orb just counts as mass land destruction. Because I think the way they worded it actually is everyone says, I say mass land destruction, but I think they say no mass land denial. So maybe they count Orb as mass land denial, even though it's technically not destroying any lands, which actually that makes sense to me because I feel like it plays like mass land destruction. Distraction TV, welcome. Oh my god. Welcome to the fishbowl thing. Is that game? Oh my god, wait, 10? 20? No, that only mills 10, so we're dead. Man, we have no luck with this deck. Good lord. Good lord, the low rolls. Well, alright. Haha! How about that, opponent? How about we mill you for 10 cards, and then we scoop it up, and... Alright, lesson! Lesson about limited. You gotta be aggro. You gotta be aggro. None of this dirtling around. It's an aggro format. That is my initial takeaway. Is it's an aggro format. Speaking of Commander, okay. So this is the current Commander ban list. What can realistically, so now that we have this Game Changers list, what cards could realistically go on that list and be considered for higher level cards and for the Game Changer or higher level games? I would say, looking at this list, Power 9 not happening, it's too expensive. Balance, I don't know the upside of that. Like, in theory, I guess, like, if you're going to be playing MLD and stuff, sure, you can make balance. Is there a version of the ban list where you can see the cards? There's got to be. Is there not a version of the ban list that's, like, hoverable? I know what I can do. Hang on. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful deck. I got a plan for this. I'll just put in a goldfish deck list. So then y'all can see the cards as we go over these real quick. So, what could realistically come off the list? So, Dockside, I think Dockside could probably be it could be on the list, right? I think it could go on the list. I really, really hope and pray to the magic gods that the cards that were banned in as commanders come off and go on the list. I don't believe that Arreo, Rafellos, even Leovold really. Nadu is probably an exception. No one wants Nadu unbanned. But like Braids, Arreo, Rafellos, maybe Leovold. I feel like those were gonna be okay. Like I think you could unban those and put them on the list. You won't be able to play them in level 1 or level 2. If you want to play them at level 3, it's gonna take one of your 3 game changer slots. So I think these would be fine at a higher level. It's cool to see Scryfall already on top of it. Scryfall banned as commander. Hey, thank you, Ups. Oh. All right. We might stick with the other one just because this has... I guess you see the images nicer. It does have a lot of random stuff on it. Biorhythm, 100% will be unbanned. I would... This is when I would bet my... I don't know. This Alexios. I'd bet this Alexios that the Biorhythm comes off. There's no way that card's not fine at higher levels. I hope Braid comes off. Channel, no. Coalition Victory, I'm sure, like, will probably be the first card that comes off. I could see Dockside. Emrakul, I don't really see the upside of it, although I guess if I don't get to play against it often at the lower levels, what do I care? But Emrakul's still pretty brutal. Fastbond, no. Falling. Oh, that's a dexterity card. Like I said, I hope the cards that were banned as commanders come off and go higher levels. Gifts Ungiven. The fact that this is banned blows my mind. Like, this one will definitely come off. Flash probably shouldn't, because Flash, actually, they need a reverse list. If they could take Flash off the list and only have it be played at levels 1 and 2 and 3, I think they would. if they could somehow have a list that was the exact opposite and be like, all right, CDH people, you don't get to play with this card. Casuals, have fun. Then Flash could come off the ban list. Because the problem with Flash is not that it's too good at bracket 1 or 2 or 3. It's that it's busted once you do the combo with it at the higher levels. But Gift should come off. Grizzlebrand, playing some unbanned Commander games on Commander Clash over the last year has changed my perspective on Grizzlebrand. I used to be like, it's a lot of mana. Like, it's fine, whatever. There's lots of things that draw lots of cards. Every time I've played with it, it's been really busted. Because you have 40 life, it's pretty realistic that you play this, reanimate it relatively early in the game, and end up drawing like 21 cards, 28 cards. And then it also kind of incentivizes you to be like, oh, I'll play some Dark Lotuses, Dark Rituals, and other fast mana effects. And then you were able to use the cards that you draw with it. So I actually think Grizzlebrand, yeah, if you want to make it like a higher level thing, I guess that's fine. But I actually think it's more busted than most people actually realize. Hull Breacher, no, please no, never again. Let's not even talk about it. Iona should come off. Iona 100% should come off. I'm not even sure Iona should have been. I still think that Iona, like, I'm pretty sure Sheldon lost to it like 2 weeks in a row at his Commander night, and then it got banned. Like, it still feels like one of those bannings that no one cared about it, and then someone lost to it that had the power to do something about it, and then they were like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. You will not get me a third week in a row with Iona. It's banned. That's what it felt like to me, is like Sheldon got by it one too many times and just got rid of it. But the real question, what do you do about Jewel Lotus? What do you do about Mana Crypt? On one hand, based on what they're saying, based on the article, based on the announcement today, I think they should be unbanned, right? Like, if you're going to let fast mana exist for CDH and you're going to ban it at lower levels, these cards should be part of that CDH group, right? Like, you should be able to play them at level 4 and level 5. On the other hand, I've heard some people argue that you can't unban them because that sends a bad message to the people who were really upset and some of them who went too far during the whole banning scenario. I don't like that. I don't really like that argument personally. I don't know if I want. So here's the thing. Those people were 100% wrong. Anyone issuing death threats, anyone going over the top, 1,000,000% they were in the wrong. I don't think I want those people to have control over what I play in Magic, though. Like, honestly, just because there's some idiot that did the wrong thing 6 months ago, why should that have an influence over what cards can go into Commander deck? So I don't know if I get what people are saying, but I don't know. It's a tough one. Library, that's going to stay banned. Limited resources, I don't even think anyone wants that card to be unbanned. Like, this card was not designed to be played in a 4-player format. The 10 land for the whole table restriction is just, could you imagine, even in CDH, when everyone's stuck at like 2 lands or something. Lutri also, the funny thing, it has the same problem as limited resources, right? Where it's really just not designed for Commander, but it was designed during the Commander era, which makes it way more puzzling. Like, at least limited resources, Commander wasn't even a thing when Exodus was designed. But Lutri definitely was. I think Panoptic Mirror probably comes off. Like, you can loop extra turns with it is the most brutal thing you can do. But as we saw reading through that article, if it's going to be a level 4 card, you already are explicitly not allowed to loop extra turns at bracket 1, 2, or 3. At level 4 and 5, you explicitly can loop extra turns. So why does it matter if this is legal or not? Like, it should just be legal, right? Because you're not going to play in loop extra turns at 1, 2, or 3 anyway. You can at 4 or 5. So I think it'll come off for higher levels. Paradox Engine, I hope not. Primeval Titan, apparently they're going to, it sounds like they're going to unban, or it's used as an example, someone said. I don't know if that's a positive overall, if people are going to enjoy their like level bracket 3 games more with Primetime showing up in every green deck. I don't know if that's going to be a positive, but we'll see. Prophet and Crew Fix, sure, maybe, I guess. Like, Prophet's kind of annoying. I don't know. I guess they don't have super strong feelings. I guess I guess this would see a lot of casual play, which is maybe a vote against it. Like, this isn't just a like high level card. I could see level 3s using this as one of their slots. Recurring Nightmare, I think, is fun. Shahrazard's, I mean, that should be level 1. Everyone should be able to play that. Sylvan Primordial, if you're letting free prime time, I mean, why not Sway the Stars? If you unban Worldfire, it's basically the same card. Tinker, there's no way. Like, Tinker is a tutor that they already don't want us to play at the lower levels, and then it would break CDH. Like, if you could Tinker in CDH, I imagine this would be one of the best possible things you could do in the format. So I imagine Tinker's gonna stay off. Trade Secrets also breaks the rules of the format by letting 2 people team up. Upheaval, I guess you could unban for level 4 and 5 as like another mass land destroy. I do love Upheaval. No. But then people would use it as a game changer in level 3. I don't know. I think there's a decent amount of cards that could come off. Unban Tolarian Academy. So Doug, what do you think about this? The problem with Upheaval is mostly people being bad at playing it. People who, you think Tinker would be fine in CDH? Really? The problem with Upheaval is people don't know how to play Upheaval. If you play, it's kind of the same thing as Mass Land Destruction, right? Where if you Armageddon the table and then just kill everyone, no one really cares. Like, you just won the game. It's just another way to win the game. But when you Armageddon and the game goes on for 2 more hours and no one gets to do anything, that's where it becomes kind of annoying. And Upheaval can do the same thing. If you know how to play Upheaval and you make a bunch of mana and rebuild a big board and win the next turn, perfectly fine. But if you're just like Upheaval World Purge mode, where it's just like, haha, I bounced everyone's permanents, let's start this game over. That's where people get a little salty. What do you think about Teferi's Protection not being on the list? Why does T-Pro always get a pass? I feel like T-Pro is on the level of these other cards that are on the list. I'm pretty sure it's on the same level, but wow. Well, that's a big day. That's a big, interesting day. I'm going to have to delve into this list. I'm going to delve into the list, get some thoughts on it. I'm sure that we're going to be doing a podcast to go over this that'll probably be coming out next week. So keep an eye out for that with the whole crew giving their thoughts on this change to Commander. On that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So we did some drafting. Proved why we're constructed players. Good news is, next stream, and all on the YouTube, we're going to be playing lots of Aetherdrift Constructed. Even though the set, we'll see how powerful it is in the meta, there are some really cool build-arounds and some stuff I can't wait to play. So, reminders on the way out the door, replay YouTube, that's where you'd find all the old streams, normal YouTube, lots of stuff coming out on there, Aetherdrift all week this week, all week next week, and then, of course, check out the Commander YouTube for thoughts on the ban list update. And most importantly, a reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magic cards, you can make cardkingdom.com/mtdgoldfish. Hey, love you too, Bowens. Have a good one. And most importantly, thanks to all you. Seriously, y'all are amazing and awesome. And I love y'all. We're going to do a little rating, I think, of Jim Davis today. Go tell Jim hello. See if he's having a good stream. And yes, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I love y'all. Be good. Let me know what you think about this Commander stuff. And I will talk to you soon.